Hello everyone, I am Tacit, and today in Brighter Shores, we got ourselves the Blacksmith Bounties launch day. We end up getting the Kobold Arena, the Filtration Station, the little like minigame activity thing, and yeah, quite a few other changes as well. So as far as Blacksmith Bounties are now available, they are unlocked by reaching Milestone 2, which of course is a level 100 Blacksmith. You can collect blacksmith bounties from the blacksmith bounty boards, which are located in the Goblin Workshop, the Gnome Forge, the Upper Right River Bend, and the Kobold Arena. Why the River Bend? Is that where the filtration system is? Because why the River Bend of all places? All of these blacksmith bounties boards carry the same bounties. Well, if nothing else, I guess that has some mining synergy. Let me figure out where that one is. But that might have some mining synergy later on if that's not where the filtration system is. There are 3 kinds of blacksmith bounties. Craft only. Craft the weapons listed to the bounties for extra rewards. Craft and deliver weapons to the Kobold Arena. The kobolds in the Kobold Arena are hungry for battle, but they need the shiniest metal weapons you can make to really show off their skills. I wonder if there's like a certain rarity you need to get, or if a 1-star will work, or if they pay you more for a higher rarity. Because unlike a lot of other bounties we've had at this point, there's never really been, you know, like a rarity component to it. So I'll have to wait and see. I did grab 1 set of bounties, but I didn't really look at them too much, just so we could, you know, have a little bit more stocked up. Also, why we're starting a little bit earlier than, like, exactly at noon. Technically, this patch was supposed to be 2 days ago, but of course, it got delayed to today. Which is kind of funny, because the other game that we play of Gems of War also got its patch delayed to today. So, most of the games I'm playing lately have all gotten their patch delayed to today for some reason. But that's later today. But anyways, Filtration Station, Sponge, or Spongle, has been placed in charge of the new filtration station, a machine designed to clean the corruption from the river. However, getting the water to the right place can sometimes be more work than one goblin can handle, and Spongle wants your help. Balancing changes. The first foe in each milestone will no longer drop weapons and armor from the previous milestone. Oh, this is actually a really huge buff. So that means when we go do our combat, I was mentioning earlier that we're going to need to get like a few levels above, like 6 levels above the milestone in order to go get all of our profession gear to look, you know, all nice. But now we don't. We could just do it on the first enemy, because they're never going to drop anything lower than, you know, the max tier, as they'll automatically be in the next milestone. That's actually a pretty nice buff for that. That means whatever you fight in the first milestone will always have pretty good drop rates, since it literally can only drop 1 rarity of drops. Even the 1-stars will end up coming out of that. So that's a pretty interesting change. If you kill a combat foe but die at the same time, you will now get the XP and knowledge, but not the item drop. Quality of life improvements. Instead of showing a grade number on professional equipment, we now show which milestone the equipment can first be purchased in. What does that mean? This should make it easier to work out what profession equipment you need for an activity. This is just a cosmetic change, and is still the case that there is not new profession equipment as of at every milestone. Add an entry to the profession interface for the extra venture slot, which can be unlocked from the forger. We'll be getting that soon. We still haven't finished that grind yet, but we're mostly delaying it until we can go and get the gauntlets for it. Of course, we're going to be getting gauntlets for that, or whatever they're called, the forger gloves, in potentially next week's Monday if they're on time. Otherwise, sometime next week if they're not on time. But hopefully next week's Monday we should be getting forger gloves. So I'm going to be waiting on that to do the entirety of Tier 9, which will probably take us, what, about a week or so. But yeah, I'll be starting that on next week's Monday, finishing out the grind with the forger gloves, assuming they come out on time, unlike the smithing bounties, unfortunately. But better late than never. The armor and weapon interfaces now shows numbers with comma separations when appropriate. In all fairness, these smithing bounties are definitely a lot more involved than just making some gauntlets work. The XP tooltip now also shows how much XP is remaining until you reach the next level. It wasn't in that before, really. The knowledge tooltip now also shows how much knowledge is remaining until the bar is full. You can now zoom the map by dragging with the right mouse button, or whichever button you have bound zoom to. Couldn't you already do that before? Bug fixes. Fix mammoth skeletons being assembled into the wall. That's funny. Gas leeches now display their level when in the backpack. They have levels. Opening the knowledge interface using the view rewards button while you have an active enrage potion will now work as expected. Knowledge interface will still be suppressed from opening automatically while you have an active enrage potion. This was changed about a week ago. But yeah, they modified it a little bit more. This was fixed in, or this was adjusted in the last quality of life update last week, if I'm not mistaken. But now they're adjusting it a little bit more. Anyways, increase the max. I was actually using some of these earlier too. And rage potions are really nice AFK. We don't have too many stocked up, but they're still nice, even with the 1/3 knowledge nerf. Increase the maximum length of the right-click menu from 6 items to 10. I guess they're going to be doing some activities that need 1 billion of them in the future. And fix various typos. Of course, they had to put that in there. Did they fix anything with this, though? No. Everything here is still the same. Though we'll see if they go on schedule. Of course, Forager Gloves are supposed to come out this Monday, but if they're anything like smithing bounties, they might get delayed, though. Forager Gloves should be a lot easier to implement than the entirety of blacksmith bounties, so hopefully Forager Gloves don't get delayed, and if they do, yeah, we kind of can't do the Forager grind until then. Obviously, we still could, but, you know, I kind of want to wait on the Forager Gloves at this point since we're so close. Would almost rather just work on Leatherworker to get another tier of those gloves, but anyways, let's go to our guy. I put him over here just so he'd be nice and close to the bounties. Just put him over here for an hour from where he previously was, because it is bounty time. I haven't actually done any of these yet, however, I did get one set of them, just so, you know, because they're, I believe, were time gated, so we are going to need to, you know, obviously do them based on that time gation. So, yeah, we're gonna be able to do too many of them. Neither of my 2 old accounts end up getting to milestone 2 smithing either, so neither of them have access to actually be able to do it. But anyways, let's start messing with stuff. So right now it wants me to go and make a broadsword and a broadsword, both of which can be done at this area. So let me go get both those 2 materials. Oh yeah, do I even have this tier? What tier do they want? Tier 6? Oh no, I'm gonna need to buy this stuff. This is tier 6, is it not? It's hard to tell because of the new number system. Let me see. View recipe. Yeah, it's tier 6. Well, let's go buy a bunch of tier 6, I guess. Oh no, we're gonna need to buy a bunch of ore because it's gonna be way quicker just to buy it than to go and mine it. Which isn't too big a deal. It's not going to cost that much. Also, we'll get to see if they're actually profit or not. So, this guy wants 3 broadswords. Oh, yeah, that's definitely not going to be profit. He's only paying 34. Well, then again, no. Because, no, he's actually paying 68. Because that's a non-turn-in one. Interesting. So, this guy only wants 1 broadsword. This guy wants, 4 of them, which is convenient because that's exactly 1 full inventory. Tier 6 is the highest we could do. So let's keep this in mind. We end up spending 150 silver on this. How much are we getting back? So we are doing exactly 4 tasks. So we spent 150 silver and we are getting back about 100 silver. So we are still losing about 1/3 of the total amount of money put into it. However, this is just a tier 1 rarity one. So it does seem like if you go and buy it from the shop, tier 1 does not make you back all your money. So that's good to know. Tier 1 does not make back your money if you were to buy from the shop. Right here, it looks like we're making 2/3 of it back. So we're still losing 1/3 or whatever we put in every single time. So we spent 150. We're only going to get back 100 silver. So not great, but better than nothing. So we'll still be able to get some back. And of course, any of the higher rarity stuff we'd obviously go and keep for ourselves. We would just go turn in the generic stuff. Assumably, you'd only ever turn in tier 1 based on this system, because I'm not seeing anything here that has any kind of like rarity requirement on it. So pretty much any tier 2s or tier 3s, tier 2s you just want to sell to the shop. Tier 3s obviously you'd want to keep for upgrading, regardless of what your class is, either to use it if it is your own class equipment, like these are for us, since we are a Cryo Knight. But even if you're another class, you probably want to use it as upgrade material and save it for, you know, getting a 4-star. While they don't have special attacks at the moment, you know, they still have more power than a non-4-star. It's not as important to be upgrading your weapon compared to when special attacks eventually exist. But, you know, you can kind of hoard them until then, assuming you're not doing that much combat. Also, I was not able to get that other half of smithing level. One thing I'm actually going to do this stream is allocate our train of thought just got derailed. I'm going to be allocating my knowledge points into Mind of Batubin. The main reason for this is I want to make sure we get to the next tier, because we can start making all the iron stuff. That's way easier to go make because I already have it banked. So any knowledge points we get today for once will not be used on Forager during the Forager grind. Off stream we were able to get to level 34 by Forager gloves. Obviously we want to get to tier 9, and then the entirety of tier 9 will be done with Forager gloves on, hopefully, fingers crossed, on Monday, assuming they do the update that day. But you know, it could get delayed like anything else. Also, I need to go I was just talking about these. I was using these in rage potions earlier, but I forgot to switch them out for Mind of Batubin potion, as I do need Mind of Batubin, whatever our highest percent is right now for the activities we're going to be doing today. What's the quickest way to get to a teleporter? I guess just teleport out, teleport back in. Let me go do that real quick. Actually, we can do it when we go and deliver them. I'll wait for the delivery. Alright, so what do we need? Just a bunch of broadswords. Let's go make a bunch of broadswords. Oh no! They're doing another update! Well, in 5 minutes, we're getting another hotfix we need to go read. But anyways, hello, Jets. Hello, Shore Central. Hello, everyone else watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys have been having a wonderful week so far. It's over. I know. They're nerfing something. They're nerfing or fixing something. Oh, no. Let's go get these swords in. Save that for later. Oh yeah, that's another factor too. I didn't even put into consideration. We're gonna get more knowledge points while crafting these, because one thing I'm mostly looking at these, of course, is the XP number and the gold number. But one thing I didn't put into consideration is the knowledge number. Bounties, oddly enough, never show how much knowledge you're getting. However, we are getting more knowledge than we normally would. Normally, I think for making a sword, we'd get like 3% or so. And as you can see right there, we got closer to 5 or 6%. So we are getting almost double the amount of knowledge for doing it for a bounty, which is something I kind of forgot to put into consideration. Because it doesn't actually show you how much knowledge you're getting, but you are indeed getting more knowledge than you normally would be. I'd even factored it in. Seeing the knowledge thing pop up just made me remember that. But interesting. One more needs to be made, and that should be all of them that we need for all of our allocation. The only thing that could get in the way, other than the update in 3.5 minutes, is if one of them are higher rarity, we're going to want to keep it. Whereas if it's a lower rarity, then we, you know, just bring it in. At least Brighter Shores is getting their update. I know, right? Gems of War still hasn't gotten theirs yet. We'll be hopefully later tonight, fingers crossed. I do find it funny that the two main games I'm playing both had their update delayed to Wednesday. Even though one was supposed to be on Monday, aka Brighter Shores, and the other one was supposed to be on Tuesday. But they both got delayed to today. So today almost feels like a Monday in that regard. With all the updates hitting. Oh, like that, for example, is one we want to keep. So obviously if you get something like this, especially with this class. Oh, really low roll though, unfortunately. But something like this we do want to keep for ourselves and not actually turn it in. Luckily, one nice thing about getting a combination of turn in and not turn in is we don't need to go and worry about it. Because if both of these were turn-in tasks, then we'd have a problem. However, they weren't. So since one was one and one was the other, I can simply just go sell these two, and now I have the other thing we need to go and turn into Derek. And I guess we'll go do that real quick because I need to go get the XP potion. But on top of getting the XP potion, I also need to figure out where Derek is. Show on map. Goblin's Workshop or Kobold Arena? Oh yeah, neither of these locations I've been to. That makes sense because I've never been there. If I was either of those two locations, where would I be? Let me go to the northeastern area because this is where the kobolds were during the quest. There's like Scally's dwelling. That was one of the kobolds. So let me go check both these locations. I have no clue which is which, but we got a passageway over to the left, one over to the north, and another one to the north. So I'm just gonna check them all, and eventually we will find the right person. So we're looking for Derek at the Kobold Arena. Assumably there's this one big arena and they're all in there. But I don't know, I'll go check every single one and see if we can go and find them. One of these is also probably the filtration system, and I have a feeling it might be this one, given that this one looks a little bit different than the other areas. Oh no, this is just locked. What is this? Oh, this is for the 7-star quest. Ooh, 7-star quest area. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's most likely for the 7-star Mines of Bitumen quest. Not out yet. Likely the next quest coming to the game. But, oh, also while I'm here, let me go get my XP pot. I did this so I could go and trade up my potion real quick. So, deposit this into the storage. Deposit. Withdraw. I'm looking for Mines of Bitumen potion, whatever our highest one is at the moment. We'll just use that. Yeah, I'll take those. It should be enough. We're not going to need that many. We're just using them for knowledge points. Good old 10%. And then we'll dump that into double smithing whenever we can. Alright, we're up against a 1-minute clock to go find this person. Go, go, go. Walk quicker. Run, run, run. Let's see if we can find this person. See if we can find everyone and see if they're all in the same room as well. Just for future reference. Is this the Kobold Arena? This sure looks like the Kobold Arena. Let's see. Are you the person I'm looking for? Yes, you are. Use item on. Here we go. Let's see. Sorry, this weapon is for Derek. Oh, sorry. Wait, did I get the name wrong? Oh yeah, there it is, Derek. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the other one. What's this? Who should Derek fight? Well, this is a blue weapon, so you should fight the blob. Oh, are you actually going to have to do elemental weakness? Interesting. So you actually have to do elemental weakness for your thing. And then he goes and fights it. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen to this cutscene. Because we're about to get disconnected in 0 seconds. Rip cutscene. I wonder if we won. Alright, let me go restart the game real quick. Or can I do it without restarting? Update. Oh, never mind. It force restarted. Oh no, come back. 1 second. Okay, we're back in. Well, I'm not sure if we're going to get credit for that weapon, but we did indeed turn it in. And I'm pretty sure we fought the right foe. Also, it's trying to update, but it's stuck at 0%. That's not a good sign. Hello, game? Update? Let me cancel and redo it. Canceling, canceling, canceling. Hello, hello? Validating. Play. Hello, update. There we go. Oh yeah, we should have update now. Nope, no update. Hello, update? I can't download the update if you didn't put it in there. What's going on? It says downloading content 0%. Why won't you download content? Oh no. Let me in? Is there a way to... Oh, there it goes, there it goes. I was gonna say, is there a way to force the update? There we go. I got it. Update required. It just downloaded an update. What do you mean update required? It literally just downloaded something. I know, is anyone else having this problem right now? Hello, hello, let me in, hello? Please let me in. I just want to go do the smithing update. Ideally with not any bugs. Or you can keep the bugs in, just let me in. Okay, it's downloading something again. It just finished downloading. Or are you gonna let me in now? No. Can you think of any other way to force update on Steam? Did anything else change here as far as patch? Bug fixes? No, they didn't add anything yet. Let's try this one more time. If it doesn't work this time, I'm gonna need to find a way to like force the update thing. You're in? It's not letting me in. Let's see. Properties, updates. Wait until I launch the game. Wait until I launch. Let's Steam. Alright, let me figure out something. Alright, it's still saying update. I'm gonna change my update thing on Steam. Let's see. Me being in the cutscene bugged it? That'd be funny. It shouldn't because, it shouldn't be for the other two accounts. Wait until I launch the game. Let Steam decide when to update. Okay, here we go, here we go. I fixed it. I was just messing with the Steam settings to force the update. I got it now. It should be the actual update now. I was just messing around my Steam settings because currently I have it when it launches. But now I set it to do it automatically. And now we should have update. I just changed my Steam setting for it. Alright, we're back in. Oh, he didn't actually give the weapon though. Here we go. Round 2. Go kill the jelly. Come on, cutscene, go quicker. You're wasting precious XP. Nice, you won your battle. Congrats, Kobold. We have a winner! Do we get extra bonus for winning? Derek won. Do you think my beloved Saul? Do you think my beloved Saul? Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant physical Saul for a second. I thought I saw an audience. There we go. I wonder if we get any extra bonus for that. Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's go try and figure out what filtration system is. Oh, also, I should probably go try to find the bounty board too. Because I think it's about to refresh, so let me try to get some filtration systems and high rarity stuff. Because I don't think I took it for current hour, and it resets in like 1 minute. So let me go over to the goblin place, which should be right over here. This should be one of the 4 bounty boards. I forget where the other 2 were, but one of the 4 should be right in here somewheres. What's that rock starting to get big? Let's see. Where is it? Right there. Let me see if we have any high rarity or filtrations, so we could do a bunch of filtration back to back. Oh wow, we got a ton of filtration. Give me all that filtration. Honestly, get rid of these. Give me more filtration. Which other one of these is like the easiest to go do? Do I have tier 6 green banked? So the problem is I don't think I have tier 6 anything banked. No. That one is easy to make, but give me the broadsword again. Just because out of any of these, this is the one that doesn't need to go like a billion miles away. So that should be everything. Now let's go figure out where this filtration system is. Because we currently have 5 games queued up. 1 for higher rarity, though they all say basic. So let me figure out where on Earth filtration system is. So if I click show on map, it'll say I have not discovered it. So let's start going into every room I can think of that could possibly have it in it. So we'll start over here and then try to figure out every other room I haven't checked, if there even are any. Because there's obviously the Kobold Arena. As well as something we haven't checked in there, apparently. Oh, is there a message board in there? I think that's where you can get your bounties. So you can get bounties from the Kobold Arena itself if you want to get them there at your turn-in location. Interesting. Oh, there's also one right over here. Interesting. Here we go. Filtration system. So how does this minigame work? I think I should talk to the NPC because I have no clue how this works. Hello, Spungle. Can I help you with the machine? You sure can. Let's me set her up. Easy, medium. Okay, so there's like a bunch of tasks. Complete easy 20 more times to unlock. Oh, we got a new thing to go grind. Ooh. And then hard after, you know, doing X amount of mediums. Then very hard. Ooh. Interesting. Can you tell me how this place works, though? What is this place? This is the filtration station. We are using this to purify the river from the corruption. Dabble has left me in charge, but it's a 2-goblin job, really. If you want to help me, or help out, take a bounty from the blacksmith bounty board and come back to me. Oh, whoa, do I have a bounty for you? I have like 5. What are filtration station modes, and how do I unlock more of them? The filtration station is a complex machine that sometimes requires different configuration of or modes depending on what equipment we are using. Some of these modes radically change how we need to configure the machine to filter the water correctly. Each mode will be explained to you the first time you try it, and you can ask me to repeat it later. To unlock the next mode, you must have completed the previous mode 20 times. Well, I got 5 of them queued up right here. For each mode, you can also increase its difficulty for additional rewards. However, each difficulty must first be unlocked by completing the previous difficulty for the mode 20 times. That means you'd have to do 80 in total to get to final difficulty then. Alright, can I help with the machine? Let's go do easy. Let's hopefully not mess this up. I assume we get like infinite tries or something. Alright, how does this work? As it's your first time operating this machine, I'll give you a short explanation on how it works. This entire machine purifies corrupted water from the river. The corrupted water enters here from the entrance pipe. The water needs to arrive here to the filter, which splits the water into 2 streams. Purified water exists from the top, and the corrupted waste from the bottom. Take care. Purified water moves a lot faster than the corrupted waste. Both of these streams must then flow to their own dedicated exits. Normally the machine would start jumbled like this. It is your job to swap the pipes around to direct the water to the correct exits. You can only hold one pipe at once, as indicated by the icon in the bottom of the screen. Is the water moving the whole time as I'm doing the puzzle? Because otherwise it would make sense to do it from the back and work your way up. You can only hold one piece at once, as indicated by the icon in the bottom of the screen. When you click on a pipe, you will replace it with the one you are currently holding. Some pipes are not able to be moved, such as the filter or the entrance and exit pipes. If you need to start again and reset the machine, press the restart button in the menu at the bottom of the screen. You have restart, rewind. Wait, what's rewind do? If you really can't manage it, press the quit button and I'll finish the job myself. Finally, you can press rewind, which will reverse the flow by 2 steps. But be warned, this damages my machine. As such, I will issue you a small penalty for using it. Okay, so don't click rewind button. To begin, start swapping pipes, and I will start the water flow. To increase the water flow speed, pull this lever. Which lever? That one right there? The one that's highlighted in white? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's not highlighted anymore. Right. I think that's everything. Why don't you have a go in configuring the pipes? I will start the flow once you swap your first pipe. Okay. So it hasn't started yet. So can I turn them around, or do I have to like click one and then click one? As I'm trying to figure out, because based on that, we'd have to get a straight one over there. Do I just click on you? No. How's this working? So if I click on you, yeah, it just turned you. Up, 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 up. I didn't want to start yet. No, 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 no. Wait, how do you turn? No, this is swapping it out. I'd like to quit. I'd like to quit and restart. Hold, hold, hold. I didn't realize I would start the thing. I start again. Round 2. All right, let's try this again. I didn't realize I would start. I know how this works. You told me. We'll spam click through this. I didn't realize. Okay, so we're basically clicking on the, I thought you could like rotate them or something. No, we're literally just swapping out pipes into swapping out pipes. So we're basically just doing like a big, large, like swap out pipe cycle. So we basically need to find all the good pipes and then swap them out for the not good pipes. But we should start kind of from where the machine is and then work our way over. So we're going to need to find a bunch of swervy ones. Going to need a lot of swervies. So swervy to swervy to swervy. So we currently have a straight. We could currently use a straight and then use the other straight. And then use that into a, like another swervy. Okay, we could try this. So if I grab this. So I'm going to do it based on from there. So we'll do it there. Wait, why am I? Yeah, I'm doing this. And then we just put a straight there. So we do that. We then put a straight there. We then need another straight. So we could go put it over there. I then need to go get another straight so we could put it over here. Oh wait, I didn't move that one. That one could be a straight as well. So we do that. Boom, get a straight. I need one more straight. Then I need a corner piece. We need a corner piece over here. Where's corner? Where's corner? It has to be a corner. Where is it? I don't see the corner shape. There it is, corner. Grab a corner, go over there, and now I just need a straight into a straight. So we'll grab this straight, grab the other straight. Oh, I just replaced a straight with a straight. And that should be all of the water situated. Then I can click this and it goes quicker. And that should be mission complete unless I messed up somewhere. Alright, we good? Oh, wait, I have to move the... I gotta move the thing into it as well. Oh, wait. Or do you have to... Oh, I see. I see where I went wrong. I had to do a curvy there. You have to move it into the... Okay, I see. You can't move the basin. You have to... Okay. I see what I did wrong. Fine. Alright, round 2 starts again. Anything else we need? That should be everything. Alright, let's start by moving the ones that are right next to it. But yeah, I need, like, anti-swervy over there. That's fine. Alright, so we'll do that. Put it over there. Put it over there. Where's corner piece? I need that corner piece to go into here. Before I forget, let me go do the one that is required for the other one as well. So this needs to go over here, so I don't forget to go and do it. I need a straight for over here, so that one gets connected. And we just need a bunch of verticals over here, so we can get that connected to the other one. And then we should be good to go. So we do that, put that over there. What else do we need? I need another straight, and then we just need the other corner. Where is the other corner right now? Other corner, where are you? There you are. And that should be everything. And now we can go click the speed up button and it won't just completely break. Also, why am I putting that there? There we go. Alright, now we can go click the speed up button. And we should be good to go. Alright, one filtration completed. And one good thing about this minigame is you don't require any resources for it. It is just pure profit. Nice, there we go. Cool. I like that. Alright, let's do that 5 more times. Or 4 more times. Alright, can I help you with the machine? Yes, easy. Alright, let's do it again. Let's begin. I'll just click the button. This is the emergency stop button. Once the water is flowing, press this to pause all water streams for 10 seconds. Unlike the rewind button function, you do not get any penalty for using this. However, you can only use it once per attempt. When it is not available, it will look like this. Shouldn't you just press that immediately then? What is the disadvantage of just immediately pressing it? I start swapping pipes and I'll start the water flow. Alright, so it doesn't start until the first swap. So I need to go get a bunch of straights. Let's just start putting stuff where it looks like it kind of needs to be and go from there. So I'll put a straight over there. I need another straight for over here. We need a lot of straights. Over here looks like I'm going to need to do some corner shifting. Where's the corner shift? Let's see. We'll put that over there. Start getting that over there. I see why she mentioned the button. I need to go and stop that real quick. Pretty much immediately. You need to stop for like 10 seconds while I try to figure out how to get this over there. So that needs to go there. This needs to go here. And then that needs to go there. Okay, that now fixes both of those. We now move this over there. And then I can use that corner piece to go connect that. I can then use this upper piece to go over there. And now we need to go get this vertical going. And then we can go get the other horizontal piece over there. And then figure out where the other corner is. Where's the good corner? There's the good corner. And that should be everything we need. I just need one more side one. And that should be everything for it. We can now go speed it up. And unless I miss something, that should be everything for the puzzle. And we're good to go. I like this little minigame. And the great part about it is pure profit smithing. Something that's really rare. As it requires no material at all. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's go do it again. Is there not like a quick start button? Does she not have like right click, quick start? No, she doesn't. Unfortunate. Alright, thingy's over there. I need to go get a corner. Where's a corner? I need a corner over here. Give me that. Thank you. Also need a bunch of straights. Give me that straight before it starts coming out. Give me the other straight and then I'll curve it into there. Let me go do the stop timer. Can we stop it? Yeah. I'm pretty much just going to always immediately stop it. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't. Unless you're already like so far ahead that you don't really need it. But, unless you're like pre-solving it, I don't think you'd ever be that far ahead, potentially. I just need a straight over there, so put that there, replace that with that. I need a lot more straights to go connect this to the other thing. And I'm going to need like a little corner shifty thing. Where's my other straight? Also, that one's about to go hit the other vertical. I should probably start getting that in there. Also need a little curvy into that. Where's the curvy? Where's the curvy? Alright, where's the other water for the other thing? I need a horizontal over here, but the other one's going to start moving quicker. Let me go put the horizontal over there while I find the other horizontal. The other horizontal is right over here. Wait, am I about to run out of horizontals? I should be fine, right? I'm running a little low on horizontals here. I might have to do a weird maneuver. Oh, yeah, I could do a little maneuver like this. And that should go in. Alright, we good to go? I don't think that counts as emptying it. If it's weird like that. Okay, is that everything? I think that's everything. Am I missing something here? I think that's everything. Let me go speed it up. Looks connected to me. I'm sure if that's going to cause an issue right there with that being there. No, it's not. Alright, perfect. That's correct. Yep, there we go. Nice. Alright, let's go do another one. Oh, that's not how you start it. We need a quick start button. Why can't I click her? Let's see. Can I help with the machine? Yes. Easy. Alright, let's see. Where are all the straights at? So let me start taking from this straight. So we just need a bunch of straights immediately. So let me go put that there. Go put that there. Go get another straight. Actually, I'm going to need that straight. Actually, let me go hit the emergency button. Actually, let me go grab this straight and then go click the emergency button. Oh, wait, I just realized I'm going to a different area. I was trying to bring it over there. I actually need to go all the way over here. Okay, that should stop it for a moment. I then need weird curvy, so I'll grab weird curvy from over here. But yeah, we need to try to get all the way over here. So I need a vertical into a bottom left. Where's the bottom left corner piece? Bottom left corner piece. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Hold up. Where is it? Oh no. Oh no. Can we not go in this way? Where's bottom left corner? Oh, I'm holding it. I can't find it because it's in my hand. Alright, let's see. Now I need weird swervy. Wait, the other one's going to start moving quicker. Here, you go. You need to start moving in there. Wait, I just realized the blue needs to go all the way over there. So, hold up. And then that one needs to curve there. I think we're going to be too slow for this one. Oh no. Let's see. I need another straight. I need a weird curvy. Alright, this is situated. I just need to go figure out what I need for the other one. I need like a weird top left. Quick. I'm not sure if we're gonna make it in time. No. Go slower. Wait. We're almost there. Go slower. Luckily, that one moves slower than the other one. I need to find a weird corner. And now I need to find other vertical, which is right up there. We should be fine. Then we grab other vertical. That one was close. That one was very close. Alright, that should be everything we need. And then we can just speed it up. There we go. Alright, and now let's go do the one that gives us even more points. That's weird. You can't like click her from this angle. She has a really weird hitbox because of how thin she is. Alright, what are we doing here? So I currently have a vertical. Let's go get all of the flats down, as we're definitely going to need to make initially a straight line, and then go get a curvy into there. So go here. Luckily that one's already in place, so we're good to go. That one's going to need a curve really weirdly. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, because that's fine, that's fine. So we go a vertical here. We then have to do the weird corner curve from there. That will get straight into there. Oh, wait, I'm going to need that for that. Oh, that's fine. I already got it situated. So these I need to go put over here. The other one I need some verticals for. Luckily, I already have some verticals, so I'll grab that. Put this over here and then put the other vertical there just so we don't have to reset them twice. Unfortunately, I do need one other vertical. Where's my corner piece? Grab that. Where's the other vertical? I need to go grab that real quick since the blue moves quicker. And then we can go get the flat piece we need for right over there, which is right over there. And unless I messed up somewhere, that should be everything. And we can click the speed up button and should be good to go. Looks good to me. Alright, nice. Yeah, I'm liking this minigame. I am liking this little minigame thing. And you get free smithing XP from it. There we go. Alright, now let's go do the rest of our bounties. Let me go teleport over. So goodbye, Filtration minigame. We won't see you for another hour. Actually, at this point, like 40 minutes. Let me go buy all the ore I need. And go check what the other bounties were that we need to go currently do for all the other Kobold Arena and turn-ins and everything. But yeah, I'm liking what they did for it. Probably has the most interesting set of bounties so far. As far as how much different they are compared to like every other set of bounties. Alright, let's see. Give me your entire stock. If I get excess, that's not too big a deal. Let's go check the bounty board, see what else is on it. And then go finish out that set. And if we finish every single bounty, I guess we'll just train smithing manually. Oh, also, we're at a perfect point to use a knowledge point. Alright, what am I doing here? I am checking the bounty board. I wish I wouldn't have put it all the way in the corner. I wish it was like more against that wall. They put it like as far away as you possibly could. Oh, we do have 8 filtration left. I'll save it for what, in the next hour when we get like a whole set of them though. But I'll grab this, and... I don't know, double shield? Is that worth it? I guess I'll do shield. I just won't do the axe because it requires a really weird component. Plus we get to do the double delivery, so we actually get to see them fight and everything. All 5 of these broadswords are currently craft only though. So let me start crafting the craft only ones. And then we'll save one single 1-star one for the big broadsword at the end. Actually, let me do his first. Actually, I'll wait till this action is queued up. I'll wait till all these actions are queued up. Oh wait, I forgot. I can drink a potion midway through as well. It's something they actually changed not too long ago. Like a month or two ago. You can drink potion midway through and it shouldn't interrupt anything. Oh, but no, doing a knowledge point does though. So the potion doesn't, but using a knowledge point does. Okay, I am going to be putting into smithing today. The main reason being is I do need one more smithing level. Just so our bounties on the next hour will be a lot more favorable. Because I actually already have all the iron banked. So if they give me a rapier or any other similar thing here, we already have the task ready to go. Because I already have all the iron ready to go. So, yeah, we need to go get that level very badly. So that we can actually get good tasks. It's something I meant to do before this update, but then completely slipped my mind to get around to it. But our task would be far more favorable as I'd already have it all banked rather than need to buy this blue ore every single time. As well as the green ore that I need to go buy for the other set of tasks. Which we'll just get a full inventory for and go to the Kobold Arena with all of our stuff then. And of course we could just storage drift what we have as well. So we can still get a full inventory of 24 over there, store drift it, and then take it all out once we're at the Kobold Arena. Right, let me go use my other knowledge point real quick before I forget. Put that into smithing. And almost got the level. Actually, by the time we go turn in all these bounties, we probably should end up getting our smithing level there. But yeah, so far I'm really liking what they did for these smithing bounties. The only slight problem I can see is other than filtration system, I'm not sure if the 1-star tasks are that worth it. If you're already going to be processing them, obviously they would be. But if you're going out of your way for them, I'm not sure these are that worth it. But it seems like all the filtration ones are, because you'd want to get to higher difficulty so you can get to higher EXP rates. Because you don't require any resources for it, so this is pure free EXP. Which is very rare for something like smithing. As smithing XP and stonemason XP are generally pretty expensive to go and get. At least compared to the average skill. So to be able to get it for free like that while doing a fun little minigame-like thing is pretty nice. Alright, so we're going to make these into 4 swords then. Let me go move the other one just so that we have it auto-completed. The main reason I actually do want to go move this up is in case we get a higher rarity sword all the way at the end. I don't want to be stuck with only a higher rarity sword. So I want to make sure we do it in this order, so when I go and sell the other junk, we'll still have at least one other sword to go and have as a spare. Just in case we get unlucky. Because if I did this other one right at the end and I got like a 4-star out of it, obviously we'd want to keep that 4-star. So we're doing this just to mitigate the chance that we get a higher rarity one all the way at the end. Because now if we do, it won't really matter. But if you already sold all your other swords and then you get a high rarity sword, then, you know, you gotta go make another sword. Because I'm definitely not handing them a 2-star or 3-star, that's for sure. It's to give you like an extra bonus for it, but I don't think they do. Maybe the higher rarity tasks do. Like maybe the tier 2 task requires a 2-star, maybe the tier 3 task requires a 3-star weapon. In which case the 3-star weapon one might not be that worth it then. Because the value of having the 3-star weapon is probably more valuable than turning in the task. Assuming that it does require a higher rarity one. Like if the 2x task requires this 2x, I'm not sure that's worth turning in. Unless they give you a ton for it. Yeah, that task would have to be worth quite a bit to justify, you know, the fact that you're turning in a bigger one. But especially for a 4-star one. Because you can actually use that as crafting material. Or in the case of a crown, you know, you could actually use it as a weapon. And we're going to need to do one more set of these little guys. Yep, come on, level. You're almost there. So close. Yet so far. And of course, we're going to be getting something like this for Stonemason in 2 weeks from now as well. Assuming it comes out on time. Unfortunately, they're not getting like a filtration-like activity though. But they will be getting like this crafting aspect of it. And I assume it'd be pretty similar to how the smithing one works, except without the whole arena mechanic. I think you just bring it to a bunch of slimes located all over the place. Alright, we can sell all this junk. Sell. Now let's go buy another inventory. Unfortunately, I don't already have it banked. Hopefully we can get our level soon so we can start getting iron ore for the next hour. Which we will going forward. Because at the end of the hour in like 40 minutes, when we go and get the next board, we will be at level 7, or you know, tier 7. And with that, we should be starting to get iron. And luckily, I already have all the iron banked at that tier. So it'll be good to go once we do get to that point. So we'll go grab all of these little flatniums. Go and process them again. I'm only going to need 2 of them here. And I need one of these 2 swords to be a 1-star so we can go turn it in. We could get really unlucky / lucky and get both these at higher rarity. That's probably not going to happen, but it could. But we'll find out if it does. And once we go finish out all these tasks, I guess we just spam iron then. And go do like half an hour trying to push our level up. As at that point, we'll go be able to process all of our tier 7 iron that we already have mined. And we'll pre-process them for all of the rapiers that we're going to need to make soon. I really wish I was at level 3 smithing though. Because if we were at tier 7, we'd be getting such good tasks. Because rapier and that throwy thing would be 2 really, really good tasks for us. Given that we already have it banked and everything. Unfortunately, we can't currently get them. And we're only going to be getting rapiers once we do go get our single level that's about to come up. As we still have a filtration system. I might go do that when we go turn in all the Kobold stuff. Because I'm going to need to turn in 2 shields and a weapon. Also, I might as well go make the axes while I'm over there as well. Because that uses the same green material as the shields. And I already banked some of the carpentry supplies earlier, so I should be able to go turn that in. And just turn in all 4 weapons at once. I'm not sure how you're going to do the shield counter though, because shields don't really have a counter since they don't really have a typing at the moment. I guess they do have some kind of invisible typing that they just implemented today that we don't know about. I'll find out when I get there. Come on, Smith and level, you're so close. Also, we kind of knew this would likely happen. However, there is no task for what you call it, for making bars. There's only making items, making item and turning it in, and filtration. Those are the only 3. There's not a task for simply just processing bars. So it's completely safe to pre-process the bars then. If you count all the profit from selling the make-only ones when sold to the quartermaster and not using the bounty paid, it makes every level of bounty profitable. Is it at this? Let's see. Because we're getting, what? 13 silver per. And then we're getting however much this is. I think the weapon I'm making right now is an exception to that because this uses 6 bars, so it's worth really little. Because I'm definitely making negative right now. Because we're making 33 silver each. And how much was one platinum thing again? I don't remember how much the ore was. I have it banked. Let me see. Because right now I'm only making 30... What am I doing? 30... I'm making 33 each. So each one is 33 silver, but it requires 6 of this. Oh, I don't have it. That's tier 8. No, I don't have any. Oh no, I need to go all the way to the shop. But I believe what I'm making right now is one of the rare exceptions where you actually make negative. Just because it requires 6 bars. So its profit margin is really low. I can even show it right over here. It's like way lower than a normal thing. Like if I go check this sword real quick. View rewards. Actually, it's only negative 35%. But the whole 6 bar thing, I'm pretty sure is making this still negative. It's barely negative, but it is still negative, I'm pretty sure. But most other things probably would be positive. This is one of those really weird ones because it requires so many of a resource to end up making. Oh yeah, I technically don't need the other 2. I'll save these for later. Alright, one of these we sell, one of them we keep. But yeah, when it comes to production skills, it generally is worth doing the bounties for them. It's not as worth it for something like... you know, like fishing or, you know, gathering skills. However, for any production skill, it'll generally always be worth doing the bounty tasks related to the skill. Alright, let me go grab the axe, and let's go turn in all 4 of these at once. So let me go get all the green ore we need at tier 6. Go make our 2 shields, go make our throwing axes. Actually, 3 of our throwing axes. Oh, I don't even need to turn in the throwing axes. Is it even worth making then? Because I know for sure I'm making negative money on those. But no, we can try figuring out. The problem is, we need to double check what the carpentry supply is too. Yeah, let me go check. Let's see if we're making profit or not on these axes. Because I'm pretty sure we're still making negative. The ore itself is what? We can say 6.5. So let's go head over there. So each one of these is 6.5. We're making 13 back for each one. And then, of course, the sell price of it. So let's see what the throwing axes come out to be. But I'm pretty sure that's still negative. Because what do you need for this? You need 3 bars and 3 hickory poles. So 3 bars is 6.5 times 3. And 3 hickory pole is, let me go check. I'm pretty sure they're still negative. I haven't seen a single thing yet that hasn't been negative. Yeah, it's also 6.5, so you can just do 6.5 times 6. 6.5 times 6 is 39. So is 1 turn-in combined with 1 sell worth more than that? We know the turn-in is 13. We need to see what the sell price is once we go and process all these. But I'm pretty sure it's still negative as well. It wouldn't be negative if we had one of the 2 components. Like if we had the ore already mined or if we had the wood already cut. But if you're completely buying it from shops, the tier 1 bounties are still negative money. I haven't seen a single one yet that's positive money. Obviously, they're not as negative compared to if you just, you know, were making them normally. But so far, every single one has been in the red. Not as much in the red, but still in the red. Up, level coming in. Tier 7, we can start getting iron. This also means I'm no longer going to get the broadsword, so we don't need to worry about the add-a-throw anymore. Or sorry, the platinums. That was just add-a-throw plus the iron that we already have banked. Alright, process this 2 more times. How much gas do we have? Oh, we have plenty. 246. And when we go turn all these in, we'll go do the filtration system minigame one more time while we're over there. And I believe this is our 6th turn-in, so we're still 14 away from getting a higher difficulty. Which means by tomorrow's stream, we should have higher difficulty then. Because we might go back to a little bit of Forager grind while checking the bounties every hour or something. As I need to get tier 9 the Forager by Monday. So that when Forager gloves come out, we can go do the entire tier 9 grind during Forager gloves then. And then all next week will just be Forager glove grinding to max monument. And until then, I guess we're doing a little bit of smithing offset. So we can go get the filtration system max. I guess that's going to be the goal of the week off stream. Like checking it every hour until we have the filtration system at max difficulty. I'm sure how much of that we would be streaming, of course. But maybe by next Monday's stream when we do the gauntlets, I'll also show max difficulty for the machine. Because hopefully by the time that the Forager gauntlets come out, I'll have max level of the minigame. So we can go show what max level looks like. As well as all 4 difficulties back to back to back. But yeah, hopefully I have that by next Monday. I think we can get 80 wins by then. We're getting on average like 2 to 3 of them per hour. If we check that 10 times per day, that's at least 20 of them. And if we do that for, you know, a week, we'll easily get 80. Alright, let me go make these shields first, and then I'll go make the other thing we need to go make. We need to make a bunch of axes. Oh wait, I just realized. I forgot. The shield doesn't use Adithro anymore. Oh no. I forgot. It uses that new bean material. How much of the bean material do I have of that? Oh, that's funny. I completely forgot about that. It doesn't use Adithro anymore. Well, let me make the axes first. That's really funny. But yeah, it doesn't use Adithro anymore. Let's see. It uses the new bean material. Oh, what am I looking for? I'm looking for hickory, I think. Somewhere's in here is hickory. Hickory tier 6. Okay, so these we are definitely making or losing money on. Because we're spending whatever 6.5 times 6 is per each of these. Which is 39. We're spending 39. And how much are we getting back? 13.1 plus whatever this is worth is what we're getting back. We're spending 39 silver per each. And let's see what we get back. Well, we should still be in the red. Yeah, the Durabine is what we end up needing. I need to go mine it. I think I might have mined some preemptively. I need to go double check. Alright, how much is this worth? Okay, wait, hold up. This is not negative. This actually is positive. It's barely positive, but it is positive. It costs us around 39 point something to make this. And it sells for 40 silver. Because we got 13.1 for making it. And then 27 for selling it. So it basically like perfectly broke even almost. Like it's like the barely a break even. At least for the throwing axe. Because the broadsword we were definitely losing on. But this one is pretty much like dead even, break even. Regardless, it's definitely better to do it with a bounty. Not only are you getting almost double the knowledge rate because you're getting the bounty turned in plus the, you know, just making it turn in. But, yeah, it's pretty much break even on everything. Give or take a little bit. Even if you buy the resources from the shop. Which means if you didn't want to have to do mining, which you definitely should be if you're doing smithing or stonemason. But if you didn't want to have to do mining, you lose a lot less money from doing, you know, like only smithing or only stonemason or something similar. If you wanted to skip the gathering skill. You shouldn't do that, but you could. Let's see. So, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, it's pretty much break even. Alright, let me go get rid of this. But yeah, I completely forgot we need to go use the Durabine. Let me double check if I have any tier 6 Durabine. I know I grabbed a few of some of them. I don't think I grabbed enough, though. Yeah, I grabbed 2. Okay, let me go grab a full inventory Durabine because we can't buy that. We actually have to mine it. So let's go bind the Durabine, go turn in these shields. Then we'll go turn in all these tasks and go do all 4 of these then. I'll go do the sword and the shields and the everything. Yeah, let's go do the Durabine. But it's the only thing slightly annoying about Durabine. We do have to, like, manually mine it. You cannot buy it from a shop. You can buy it from other players if you have trading enabled, though, of course, we're playing Lone Wolf. But, you do have to mine it yourself if you actually want it. So let's go mine an inventory of tier 6 real quick. Process it, and then go make our shields. I feel like the shields would normally be one that you would just skip just because you can't get it from shops. Just because of how much longer it would ultimately end up being. Alright, let me go lower these down to milestone 6. Let's go quickly get a full inventory. Maybe even 2, just so we don't have to come back here at any point this stream. Because they shouldn't take that long to go mine a handful of them. Get like 2 quick inventories and then never need to come back here for the rest of today. Just so we don't have to walk back over here again. Because there's a storage rift right there, so it's really easy to go and bank them. There's actually enough downtime here that I'm pretty sure we can actually go bank them and still get back to our starting point every single time if we want to. Because the bank is almost like 0 tiles away. It's really, really, really close. So we could just mine like a whole thing like this. Go straight here. Talk to the bank. Get right back to there before it resets. Probably even enough time to drink an XP pot if you want to. Yeah, it is. And even enough time to drink a pot if you want to. I'm not going to here though, just because I only have the bigger ones on me at the moment. But yeah, there's enough time to bank and drink a potion. And then you're pretty much in perfect cycle then. So we'll do what we just did like a few more times then. And that should hopefully be all the Durabine we need for the rest of the stream. For any shield task that ever pops up. Yeah, so far this is probably the easiest resource in the entire game to resource relative to mining. Not in the entire game, but you know, for mining specifically, it is the easiest bank cycle. As this thing is like right on top of a bank. I don't think a single other mining node is actually in the same room as their bank. Pretty sure Durabine's the only one in the game. There's some that are pretty close to a bank. But I'm pretty sure Durabine is the only mining resource in the game in the actual same room as a bank. Kind of like how the Death Crows we were doing earlier, I believe is the only combat enemy like right on top of a storage rift. Oh, we got a new AFK for smithing. There we go. Whatever I have that laying around so I could do it for the first time bonus. Not sure if I have that banked at the moment. Oddly enough, I've already done it before, so I can't even claim the first time bonus. Because I did it in the previous system of the game. Oh no! Oh, never mind. Can't claim the first time bonus from that then. Alright, let's do one more set and then I'm just going to head straight over with what I have. And that should be enough. But yeah, I can't even do the first time bonus because we got it in the previous, before the milestone change. And as soon as I get over there, we'll just teleport over. It's the reason I want to get like a somewhat full inventory here. As it's quicker to teleport from here than it is to bother using the bank. Does this stop the menu? It does. Just double checking. If you're doing a normal action, it doesn't, but it does if you're doing a queued action. So now it won't stop it. But specifically queued actions do get stopped from it. Let's go make our shields. Let's go turn all these in. And let's go finish out another set of bounties. As well as get multiple of the Kobold arena back to back to back. And then if we want, we can go process our newfound iron. As reaching level 7 smithing, we can now do iron ingots and rapier. And this one I actually do have banked, because these are what my iron ore from before the milestone update got converted into. I have like no tier 5 or tier 6 material, because of how the conversions worked. But I do have a decent handful of tier 7. Like about 1,000 bars, or several hundred ore, and like 1,000, 2,000 bars or something. So we actually do have a decent handful just laying around. Not like an exceedingly high amount, but more than 0. Like enough that we could actually process them all this stream while waiting for more bounties. Without needing to go back and forth from the shop at all for any reason, or go mine these little useless ores or something. Should just be able to do it all in this room. Hey, didn't they say they changed something with how zooming works on this map? I don't understand what they meant by that. Because it seems to be the same from what I could tell. Alright, the rest of this will go bank. I'm just gonna make the 2 shields that we need. And then we'll go turn everything in. And I assume we just make the shield here. I haven't actually made a shield in a while. It wasn't even working during the beta either. That was one of the few things that was actually weirdly broken in the beta, was making the shields. So it's actually, I think, the first time I've bothered making the shield since the milestone update. Is, of course, you generally just make weapons. Was it able to zoom in and out with right click? Oh, okay, that's the new thing they did. Yeah, you can use right click now. I always just use the zoom button. But yeah, you can use right click now. That's what they changed. You can now right click zoom the map instead of arrow key. I guess the one thing that would actually be somewhat good for, oddly enough, is Steam Deck. I'm not sure if I would bother doing that on Steam Deck because I use like the full screen map. Not sure if I have it here. But I do this on Steam Deck and just have the hotkey to this. So it's really easy to click, so you don't need to zoom or anything. Because all the icons are so big because it takes up the whole Steam Deck screen. So I just do that with a hotkey on it. But, yeah, I guess you could use that on Steam Deck. I'm not sure why you would ever need that on PC, though. Because doing mouse wheel is just way easier. It's a good Steam Deck change, though. If you want to actually use the mini-map and not just use, like, a full screen thing. I'm trying to find my weapon I had in here. There it is. Withdrawal. That should be everything to go turn in. And then we'll go do a filtration while we're over there as well. I believe that is our 6th filtration, so we need 14 more before we unlock the next difficulty. Something that unfortunately we won't be doing today. However, we will slowly unlock throughout the week. And by next week's Monday, when hopefully the Forager Gauntlets come out, we'll go and mess with all 4 difficulties of the activity. And do them all back to back to back to show the different difficulties. But we're definitely not going to have that unlocked today. I think it's physically impossible to even have it unlocked today. But how much we'll end up needing to do. Because obviously it's a little bit time gated. What am I doing here? I'm confused as to what I should be doing. Who should guild a fight? Go fight the weakest one. I don't understand what the buckler counter is. Like which one of these is better with the buckler? I don't know, just fight the weakest one. You'll be fine. Yeah, he's fine. Alright, who's the other one? Derek. Derek. Oh, here's the other message board. Here you go, Derek. Here's your shield. But I'm just gonna keep doing the weakest one, I guess. Oh wait, this one's a passive enemy. I wonder if it has to be an active enemy. Maybe that's what it has to be. Let's see. Oh no, he's the one. It's just really obvious with the weapon that you have to do like the weakness thing. I don't know, let's see what happens if I don't do the weakness thing. If I go to Kaz and I deliberately don't do the weakness. Let's see what happens. So for example, this one's obviously vulnerable to blue. But what if we do a Stormworm? Actually, let's go to the big guy over here. The big mushroom guy. So will he win against this? Oh, so that model is so big. Because I didn't have him fight something that is weak to. Yeah, he lost. Okay, interesting. Say, there is a weakness thing you have to utilize. So yeah, let's go have him fight the blob or whatever's weak to blue. There you go. Alright, so you do have to utilize it. So what's the point of the shield thing then? Do you just take the weakest one? Because this one makes sense, because obviously you use it based on the weapon weakness. I don't get the whole shield one then. Unless you just always just click the lowest leveled one. I guess with the shield next time, I will try doing it against the highest level one and see if it gets obliterated. While we're over here, let's do one filtration station. And we'll go process some iron ore while we're waiting for the next set of bounties in 15 minutes. Oh yeah, let's go time how long this takes as well. I'm curious how long it takes me to do one filtration station. I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the clock, though it better not be taking me that long. I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the clock, 3 extra seconds so we can actually do it from when we technically started. Pin it. A little bit more centered. A little more centered. Alright, I think we're good to go now. Alright, let's go start it. Alright, talk to her as soon as it begins. Okay, let's go. Let's see how long it takes us to do one filtration. Alright, we need a bunch of straights. So let me get a straight over there. Straight over there. Get a nice little curvy. Oh wait, where am I putting this over to? Wait. I need a curvy here. Wait, not that curvy, the other curvy. Put it over there. Then I need a straight over here. Okay, give me a quick stop button. I didn't realize we're building over here. Give me a quick stop. No. Oh gosh, you're queuing these up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't queue. Oh, no, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Stop queuing. Take another straight. I then need a weird shaped corner. Alright, now I need this over here. Let me go get all the straights that we need for the other part. To get all the way over there. Most of it's already intact, luckily. While we're over here, let me get another straight for that. That's not what I need. Give me that one. Alright, we'll put the other curvy there in a second. The other one moves a little bit quicker, so let me go and get that finished real quick. We then need a nice flat one. And now I just need one curvy over there. Oh wait, actually I need two curvy. Well, I need curvy and a straight. Or vertical, I mean. So put that over there. Put that over there. And then we go and speed it up. And it looks like it took us about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Took a little bit more because the minigame needs to finish. I won't count it until I'm standing in front of her. Oh yeah, we already are. Alright, there we go. As soon as we click OK. Boom. Stop timer. Yeah, not counting the time to get here. One easy mode took us 1 minute and 40 seconds, you could say. Technically 1 minute 36. Obviously, there's variance between them. So we can say anywhere from 1 minute and 30 to 2 minutes, roughly, assuming we don't make any mistakes, is how long it takes to do one easy bounty. That's not too bad. Because what, one bounty gives you a little over 100k at this level range? And how many do I need for a level? I end up needing... Oh yeah, it tells you how much XP you need now. So, as far as remaining. But yeah, I need 5 million XP. So you'd have to do that, what? 50 times. So what's 50 times, Oh, I gotta convert the thing into a thing, though. So let me take 60... No, the other way around. We have to take, what, the number? So I need to take I need to take 0.36... No. I need to take 36 divided by 60? Yeah, 36 divided by 60. So that's 1.6. So what am I doing with this 1.6? Oh yeah, 1.6 into, well, 1.6 is how long it takes me to get to 100,000. So yeah, I take the 1.6 and times that by 40. Times 40... Or sorry, 50. Whatever we need to get to the level. Yeah, so it would take 80 filtrations. Or 80 minutes, I mean. It would take 80 minutes of filtration to get a level. I don't know, that's not amazing. Though I was basing that off of it being 100k. I think it's like 110 or 120k or something. But, it is also the lowest difficulty, and they do seem to give more at the higher difficulty ranges. So once you get those, it'll be better. But yeah, it's like a little under a level an hour doing filtration. But that's on easy mode. Obviously, it gets better at higher, assumably. But easy mode is a bit under a level an hour. At least at my level range. Not sure if it scales like throughout. That's not counting knowledge points as well. It's also not really accounting for the fact that it's completely free. It's not requiring any resources at all. Alright, while we're waiting for bounties, let's go process our iron now that we have access to it. These got converted from the milestone update, so we do have a decent chunk of iron in here. We have 1,000 ore and 1,625 bars, so we are golden for a little bit as far as everything we need. So let's just start preemptively processing these then. And then we'll just wait 10 minutes until the next set. And then we should see some amount of rapiers there. And then we can go do everything and be good to go. And I guess at some point in the stream, I might go process all this iron just so we have it for later. Because I'm going to need it throughout the week for when I go do the bounties. Because eventually, almost all of our bounties are going to be iron. Because once I go and process all these, we should be almost, you know, between the bounties and processing them, we should be almost at that level 3. And once we get to level 6, pretty much every bounty we have will be iron ore. They should all be iron except for bow all the way at the end there. Which means we won't have to do the annoying shield or anything else like that. Oh, no, it's going to be your last 5 tasks, right? Or is it last 4? Oh, no, it's only last 4 because I wasn't getting throwing knives. I think it's last 5. And if that is the case, then... yeah, we don't have bow at that point, if it is doing last 4. It could just be that we weren't getting the throwing knives, so I'm not sure on that. But it's either last 4 or last 5. It makes sense if it's last 5 because that's how cooking works, but I'm not 100% sure because I never got a throwing knife yet. If it is last 4, then that means 3 out of 4 tasks by the time we get to Flanged Mace would all be iron then. I just need to go get some of the carpentry supplies for the mace later. Which, what does that require again? I don't remember off the top of my head. It requires pine. It requires tier 7 pine poles. Yeah, so we'll need to buy those later. That's not an issue right now, though. For a good while before we get to tier 6 smithing there. Or level 6, I mean, in tier 7. Alright, and then we'll just bank them. I'm not going to process anything out them immediately. So I should have just went to the menu, could have done it quicker. But any knowledge points we get today, I will be putting into smithing. Just so we can start pushing to 3 and 6 for later. And then throughout the week, we'll just be able to go and do the tasks very easily then. And then eventually all my tasks would just be tier 7 Durabine into the 3 iron ones. Which the only problem when that happens, I ideally would stay in this area for a while. Because I could just buy the green ore. We would have to mine the tier 7 Durabine if we were to get that far. Which we can do, of course, with our mining level. But it is a tier below, which is pretty bad XP rate. But if we had to, obviously, it would be fine. But that's one of the only ones you cannot buy from a shop when it comes to mining. Also, that's going to be annoying for stonemason. You might want to stock up on deathstone now, by the way. We're going to need to go get tier 7 deathstone for this stonemason one. We'll worry about that when we get a little bit closer, but if you have any shield within your range for stonemason, you're going to need to go and get deathstone of your current tier. Because there's no way to buy from a shop unless you want to buy from other players. Well, we need to go get all of ours our own. And we're right at the point of shield, too. Pretty much every level range is at shield because of how shields are dispersed. There's one thing I never really paid too much attention to with the new smithing and stonemason. But now that we have bounties, you pretty much always have to do a shield bounty. Because the way that they're dispersed, you're effectively always going to have a shield. They're perfectly evenly distributed in a way where you will always have a shield task. Which is something I didn't notice until literally just now. Oh no. But yeah, all shields are evenly distributed across every single skill. So that you will always have a shield task for your bounty. Which means you'll always need one of the untradeable components for... or not untradeable, but unbuyable from shop components. When doing bounties for any crafting skill. Or, you know, anything in Chapter 3. So if you're doing Boneright bounties that don't exist yet. Stonemason bounties that will exist in about 2 weeks. Or smithing bounties that came out today. You will always need the untradeable component. For blacksmith, that's Durabine for mining. For stonemason, that's deathstone for mining. It's also locked behind completing out the quest... what's it called? The, something in here. Where'd it go? Matubin's Legacy. You also have to fully finish Matubin's Legacy. Not just start, fully finish. As even though you get access to the area, you can't mine it until after the quest is done. And for Boneright, it requires the shark jaws that you get from Forager. The ones at level 10 Forager. that we've been collecting throughout our forager grind. But those 3 components are needed for the shield and will always be needed for at least some bounty for all 3 of them. As there's always at least 1 shield within every bounty range. Well, they found a way to make untradeable resources useful for something. That's like probably the first instance in the game where an untradeable or unshoppable resource is actually good. I keep saying untradeable, but I mean unbuyable from shop. Yeah, they're probably the most useful 3 at the moment. More so the smithing and stonemason one, since they're getting the bounty soon. Smithing today and stonemason 2 weeks from now. Assuming it comes out on time. Oh, it just hit my leg. Oh no. Ow. Yeah, we're doing on the XP on the smithing right now. There's one thing that does feel still a little bit weird about the bounties. Is tier 1 bounties, even for production skills, it feels like it's a bit slower than just training the skill normally. It could just be because we got like the new best activity right at the beginning of, you know, a level range. So this obviously is really, really quick compared to whatever you'd be doing in like the previous level range. But this still feels like a lot quicker than doing bounties. The biggest issue that a lot of bounties have, other than maybe detective and merchant bounties, is they don't really too much take into account all of the walking you have to do. Like, to some degree they do, like, you know, cooking bounties and stuff like that. But they don't enough take into account all of the walking. To the degree that they actually don't pay you out that much. As a compensation for how much walking you have to do compared to just camping something like this is normally not enough. Like, even with fishing bounties. Like, if you were just spam catching your highest tier fish, you'd be getting better XP than if you were spamming the lowest tier bounties for, you know, all your fish. It's one of the biggest issues that bounties has at the moment, which I assume is by design, to make it so you don't feel like you have to go and spam bounties. It's more so just there if you kind of want to mess around with it for a change of pace. But currently, doing tier 1 bounties for any skill other than merchant and detective, or, you know, that are pretty much like only bounties. But the ones that have it as like an offset kind of activity, it's not really like the primary training method for any of them. You can definitely do it if you want to save money on the skill, particularly for production skills like smithing and such. Or if you want to change your pace, like, you know, the minigame that the smithing one has as well. But none of it seems to actually be quicker than just, you know, the core training methods. Which I guess is technically a good thing, so you don't feel obligated to have to do them. Though I definitely will over the next week, so we can go max out the difficulty on the new minigame-like thing. So we can get it to max difficulty by next Monday. Because today's Wednesday, so we got, what, 4 days? We could do that in 4 days. If I check it every single hour for at least 10 hours a day, we should have all the filtration station bounties needed to have max difficulty by Monday. So we could show it when Forager Gloves come out, assuming Forager Gloves come out on time and don't get delayed like this patch did. Isn't there something about every other milestone being better bounties or something? Yes, the way the bounties generally work is they spike up in EXP as you unlock a new item. This is relevant for every bounty system in the game, including stuff like merchant, detective, stuff like that. I guess detective doesn't apply to anymore, but, you know, merchant, stuff like that. But yes, bounties get upgraded every single time you get to the new tier. So for example, in one level in merchant, once I go get the new precise pocket watch, every single bounty will be scaled up to level 20. And the same thing happens with other skills. So for example, for smithing, my bounties that I actually get now for the exact same activities are going to be better than before, even if I get the exact same one. So before at my other level range earlier, we were getting bounties for, you know, something like a throwing axe or the metal shield. Well, I don't think we get the metal shield anymore, but the throwing axe is a good example. Like, we did this throwing axe bounty earlier, and we got like X amount of XP for it. However, now that we've unlocked a new one, we're still getting that task, but that task that we got before is now worth more XP. Not that much more XP, but it will pay out slightly better, because all bounties are based on whatever your highest tier thing is within the set, in this case being our rapier. But even if you get a previous bounty that you already had, it gets upgraded to that better XP rate. In this case, you know, the rapier's XP rate. Or not literally the rapier's XP rate, but you know. Like, every single new item you unlock brings everything up to that level of XP rate, essentially. It's a very small difference, but it is an improvement. Oh yeah, that's true. When do we get shiny bounties? No, shiny bounties are at tier 8. Yeah, we didn't get one of the really lucky levels. Though, I guess if we really wanted to, tier 2, if I could go power grind on the alt account, I could technically get that done by tomorrow. If we wanted to go show the higher difficulty stuff. I'm not sure if I would want to do that, though. But we could. It would take me like 4 to 5 hours to get one of them to milestone 2. And then probably like another 10 hours to go get them to 80 filtration stations. Between having to cycle all the tasks and everything. But we technically could do that. I don't think I am, though. I'm just gonna do it on the main account. It will take a bit longer to do on the main, just because we have to do it with no shiny bounties. But, yeah, we have no shiny bounties. There's no way we're getting all the way to tier 8. I would have to go get 50 levels within, like, a few days. Which I think is physically impossible, even if we went, like, 12 hours a day. It's just gonna be easier to do 80 bounties than it is to try to get to tier 8. But if one of my alt accounts were already at tier 2, maybe I would do that. But the problem is both of them are like 15 levels short of milestone 2. Milestone 2 is actually a pretty high level requirement. I do highly advise having it though, because the 7-star Mines of Bitumen quest might require it. We don't really know what a 7-star quest would require, so it's highly advised to have milestone 2 in every single thing for chapter 3. Also, if you want to do stonemason bounties, not only are they you know, really high level, but they're actually milestone 3. I do have an alt account, oddly enough, that is milestone 3 for stonemason. However, yeah, you need milestone 3 to go do bounties for stonemason when they come out in 2 weeks, assuming they come out on time. Which is a very, 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 very high requirement. Probably the highest requirement to get into anything that we've seen so far as like the base level. Obviously, there's things like completing out monuments, stuff like that. But as far as like the base level to get into something, I think this is the highest base level we've seen so far. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of things that are eventually going to require, you know, 150 between reward events, bounties, dungeons, stuff like that. But out of soon-to-be implemented features like that, I think the stonemason bounties are the very first highest requirement in the game for the base level to go do something. 150 level just to go and do the bounties for the skill. Which is very, very high. Luckily, we have it out of 2 or 3 of our accounts, though. But it is a very, very high requirement. Oh, the bounties are ready. Alright, let me go finish out this inventory and we'll go check the bounties. They just reset like 2 minutes ago. I didn't even notice. They reset midway through that inventory. But it looks like we're going to get like 2, 3, 4 smithing levels today. That's not too bad. But yeah, I don't feel like this bounties are like the greatest of XP, but maybe once we get the minigame all the way maxed out, it's going to be pretty good. But yeah, hopefully we get like 1 billion filtrations. It's pretty much the only task we really want to see. That and anything related to iron, just because we have so much iron bank, so I don't need to go buy it. Those are like the 2 things we want to see. Filtration system being highest priority, and everything that's iron being second highest priority. I just realized our iron bar is almost looking like the iron bar in the image. I wonder what tier is the actual iron ore bar in the image. Because I'm pretty sure that's actually one of the bars. I think it's like the perfected one all the way at the end. Well, one of them actually does look like literally the icon. Oh, I can't look at it. Info. Yeah, like right there. That's pretty much the smithing bar icon. Or the smithing icon. That iron bar right there. Like, it's almost the exact same. They're like slightly different, I think. But they're very, very, very similar. The max tier iron bar compared to the smithing icon. Alright, let's go see what our bounties are. And hopefully it's all filtration and rapiers. Hey, we can even queue the bounty board if we want to. Sure, why not? We'll queue up the bounty board. Unfortunately, we can't click a take all bounties button or something. Right click, take all. What do we have? Oh, we got luck. Oh, we didn't get a single rapier, but we did get a triple filtration. Oh, so do we want to bother doing these other ones? They're all only make. I don't even get to do a little mini game with them. I think I'm just going to ignore these. They're all just make only. Not a single one of them is, you know, go do thingy. But yeah, let's go do some filtration, I guess. They really want me to go do some filtration. Let's go do 3 minigames real quick. I should pay attention to how much knowledge we end up getting for one minigame as well. It's something I haven't been paying attention to. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be like 10%. But I haven't actually been paying attention to how much knowledge points we get per turn-in. Oh yeah, you're definitely getting about a level per hour of doing filtration, not counting moving to get there. Because I was calculating as 100k before, it's actually 126k, and that's only on easy difficulty. It's not even counting the higher difficulties. But yeah, let me go check my knowledge and see what the before and after knowledge is to see about how much we're getting. Alright, how are we doing this? So we need a flat into a flat into a flat. We need a lot of flats. So let me go get the flat over there. Get the other flat over there. Get the other flat over there. Get the other flat over there. Start moving that over there. Need to get some verticals now. Get the vertical over there. Get the vertical over there. We then move that down there. That then gets moved over there. I then need a weird curvy one. Where's weird curvy one? Weird curvy one. I need a vertical. Vertical. We then need to start working on the other one before it gets too close. Let's get a vertical for that. Get it all the way into there. I can use the weird curvy one right over there. Then I just get the flat and we should be good to go. Only thing we're missing is one vertical over there and then one flat over there and then the speed up button. And we should be good to go. Did I miss anything? I think that's everything. Should be. Alright, one down, 2 to go. Let's see how much knowledge we get. That's the main thing I want to check here. So we have 166. And for an easy, we got, yeah, it's about 10%. We actually got 11% there. Yeah, that's about as much as I expected it to be. Alright, I need a bunch of straights. Where are we going to first, though? Okay, I need curvy over there. So let me get double straight first, then we'll start working on curvy, then vertical. So we'll get that over there, get it over there. Start getting all the straights. Oh, wait, I just realized I need weird curvy. Oh, wait, I just realized this needs to curve way earlier than what I'm doing. Wait, how am I doing this? Wait, I'm already doing this wrong. Oh, no, I already failed. No! Quit. No! Wait. The mistake I made there was, I had to curve it like one whole thing earlier. Because I was taking up the space of the pipe. You gotta pay attention to when that happens. But we had to curve it one tile earlier than what we did, otherwise we just completely block out the path. Which is not good. Alright, so that's all set up. Let's go get the other vertical for there. Get the other vertical for there. Where's corner weird pipe thingy? Corner weird pipe thingy, there we go. Any one of you, I need a bunch of straights. We need double straight into weird curvy. Weird curvy's right over there. And then we can start working on the diseased one. So we put that over there. Then we just go get 2 more verticals. Or actually only 1 more vertical. His next one needs to be corner curvy. And then we just go put the one that we already have on us on there. And then that should be everything completed. Hey, there we go. 1 more to go. Yeah, I like this little minigame. It's pretty cool. And it's decent knowledge rate. Actually, what's this knowledge per hour? Because we know for sure, counting movement time and everything, we could easily do 2 of these per hour. And we're getting like 11%. So what does that come out to? 11 times 30. Okay, it's pretty average. It's about 3.5 to 4 knowledge per hour. Depending on how quickly you do it. That's pretty average for knowledge rate. Like, it's not bad, but it's nothing insane. Relative to smithing, it's not bad. Relative to other things that you could be doing, it's not the greatest knowledge rate in the game. But it's pretty good smithing XP. Especially given that it's, like, free. I bet I didn't even move that one. I'm not sure why I did that. Alright. I'll move the other one later. I need to go and start moving vertical for blue. Because that one's going to be in danger way earlier than the other one is. I need weird curvy. Oh, wait, I just realized. I might not have should have done that. Let me just use vertical. There might not be enough pipes to do what I'm trying to do right now. Oh, no, I wanted... Nope, move the other one. Alright, do you have flat on you? Yes, you have flat on you. Now I just need one more vertical from there. And we should be good to go. Okay, that one was a bit slow. Right, there we go. I do have one more left? Or was that all of them? Nope, that was all of them. And we almost got a double knowledge point. 1% low. And in case we do want to do these, I guess I'll go grab them real quick since we're already over here. Not sure if I will, but, you know, we'll grab them. Alright, back to iron ore, I guess. Head back over there. Just want to go process these real quick. But we don't even have to turn them into arena. There's make only. Nothing fancy, just, you know, make those instead. I guess I'll make the shield while I'm here. The other two I won't since we have to do it in the other area. Maybe once we're in that area again and get like multiple of them stacked, I'll go do it. But for now, let's just make the shields real quick for the Durbine. We needed, what, just 3 of them. I think they were taking 4 each, so there we go. Make our 3 shields right here. And don't need to turn them in or anything, so we just sell them straight to the guy. And then we can go back to our iron and worry about the other 2 later. Oh, I should have used the potion here. Whoops. Gonna waste a little bit of knowledge from it, but it's fine. But yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of weird about all the new bounties that they've been doing. Like the whole hourly system for them. I feel like once they're all implemented, it won't be as big an issue, but it is a little bit weird when they first come out. Because they're so time-gated in a sense. It likely won't feel like that, you know, once every single thing has its bounties in and, you know, everything's implemented. But as they keep rolling in one by one, they feel really, really time-gated. Especially like that minigame if you don't have, you know, like the golden one active for it. Because if you have the golden one active, you know, you can get that done in like a day. But we'll need to check the bounty board like every single hour for like at least a few days in order to actually reach it without it. Alright, we'll go sell all these shields and go back straight to iron then. But if you had all of them, you could literally just keep spamming filtration over and over and over and over again. I wonder how many people are doing that because I didn't really see anyone in that room. Maybe it's like an instance or something. Alright, let me go sell these. Obviously, keep the shield. Keep the good shield. Use that for an upgrade eventually. And back to iron ore. Not sure if I'm going to process all of it today, but I do want to make some progress on it. Really important that we reach level 3 there. That way, whenever we have bounties, they're all, like, actually easy to do. These ones we're at the point where we're just doing mace to throwing twin blades rapier and, like, you know, whatever the end of the green one is. That should be the most optimal area for us to be doing bounties. I didn't realize we still never claimed first time bonus in the other 2 that we have right now. Maybe we do go over there just to go claim their bonus at some point. Because yeah, we never even made them for the first time. We have it all banked. I'll probably just grab like one more inventory or green just to make sure we're good. As they do require quite a bit of them. The bows are like 4 each. I forget how much the axe is. I almost want to say 5 for some reason. Even though I'm pretty sure that one's also 4. Oh, it is 5. Yeah, I was right. been so long since I've had to make one. There's only like one enemy in the entire game worth making it for, and it's Metalith. I haven't needed to fight Metalith for a while since we've been doing Chapter 1 combat lately, while doing Forager. Which I have been AFKing off stream. I'm still trying to get to milestone 20, and as of the update today, it is going to be very easy for us to go get the max visual tier of our armor. Because no longer do we need to go get to level 20 and then level 6. We can now get it at simply level 20 with how the new armor drops work now. As the first thing in every tier now always drops whatever the gear is. Like before, if we were killing a sparring guard, we could get something like an 1855 or a 45 or an 1848 or, you know, stuff like that. But now it won't ever drop anything lower than a 19. Even a 1-star supposedly will drop as a 19. I haven't actually tested this yet as of the patch today. But that should be how it works based on the patch notes. Which means once we reach level milestone 20, all of them should be visually higher tier. So once we get to that point, I could just do sparring guards for like barely any time at all. Like probably 10 minutes and we'll have a full set of max of visual cryonet gear. Which is something I might start prioritizing a little bit more soon then, since they fixed that. Because that means we only have to get 31 more combat levels, whereas before it would have been like 36-ish or so. Obviously it's not that much longer of a grind, but you know, it's still saving 5 levels. 5 levels when AFK King is like 5 hours. Because I think I was getting like 1.1 or 1.2 combat levels an hour while putting knowledge into Forge or whatever else. That was with the AFK potions, of course. It would be way higher if we were, you know, actually playing. By that level range, we were getting a little over a level an hour. With no knowledge points and completely AFK with the enrage potion. Which is not too bad. So to have to do that for like 5 less hours as the update today is pretty nice. A little bit more incentive to go for that grind sometime soon. So we could finally have the max visual for cryonet gear. Also, I'm a little bit mixed match right now because I got a body upgrade when I was AFKing earlier. We replaced out the level 48 torso or whatever we had with a level 19.6 or whatever you want to call that. Tier 19, level 6. But yeah, we finally got the torso upgrade. I just haven't recolored it since then. Because I was just busy AFKing and stuff. But, yeah, we did finally get a torso upgrade. Obviously, we didn't get an upgrade for anything else because they're already almost as max as they could be. But, yeah, we did get a torso upgrade if nothing else. While I was AFKing the Death Crows earlier. With that really nice 50% modifier, so you keep getting, you know, the better gear off of them. With that 50% extra loot. I wasn't using any luck potions, though. But their extra 50% modifier basically made it so we honestly didn't really need them. I probably would if we were ever, like, not this geared. But this is about, like, the most geared we've ever been at our level range ever. Like, this is about as geared as you would be if Armor Maker was out right now. So, we're pretty much good to go. It's the reason why I didn't feel like we really needed a luck potion. It would have been, like, a little bit more profit, but also you have the, you know, the cost of the luck potions themselves. But we're so geared right now, it's one of the few instances where it's like, yeah, I don't actually need a luck potion. We kind of already geared enough. But at this point, we need 2.5 more smithing levels, and we'll be at a really good place for where our task will be. Because at that point, we should stop getting any of the shields from there. And we should just have all of the weapons and not need to deal with shield. It'll be one of the few level ranges where you have no shield. As almost every level range for these bounties has at least some form of shield where you need Durabine. But it'll be one of the few ranges where we shouldn't have to make a shield, which is really nice. Yeah, and I'm glad we had these before the conversion, otherwise we'd have to go and mine all of them. It's one thing I kind of wanted to do with these bounties is try to catch up smithing and stonemason to tier 8. Not in like the near future, but at some point, you know, I need to push smithing and stonemason to tier 8 so that they align better with all the mining that we'll be doing for tier 8 mining. As well, this one converted nicely. Not all my tier 7 material did convert nicely. So there's like a bunch of holes all over the place. But once we get to tier 8, we won't need to worry about that since we'll be aligned with, you know, the new milestone system. So we shouldn't ever have as big of a gap between, you know, what we have, don't have, whatever got converted into something weird. We'll be completely aligned and good to go at that point. The other reason I want tier 8 is that makes the highest leveled gear that you can currently use in the current state of the game. The main reason being is until Stonewall Hill comes out, the level cap is level 2000. And you can make level 2000 equipment at tier 8 all. So once we reach tier 8 all, we're basically maxed until Stonewall Hill comes out, effectively. Obviously not as high as it can go technically, but relative to Stonewall Hill, or, you know, prior to Stonewall Hill, it's effectively maxed tier 8 all Mines of Batubin. So I don't really have much of a need to go higher than that unless they do some kind of weird system. Like, for example, if mining is needed for the, like, the final mining level is probably going to be needed for something for Leatherworker. That's the last one of the currently announced things, is mining in the very near future. In, what, 3 weeks from now, I think it is? In about 3 weeks from now, assuming it comes out on time, mining will give a bunch of unlocks that will help out Leatherworker. We don't know exactly what it will do, but the, you know, most obvious guess would be it would make you make leather quicker. So you'd be able to go and get, you know, make leather at a quicker rate compared to what you currently do. Which will make it a little bit less AFK, but, you know, the amount that you could process per hour would go up drastically if it's like 2 times speed or something per station. So having a really high mining level might actually be ideal before doing Leatherworker then, potentially. So instead of needing just only Merchant, you might need Merchant and Mining to go do Leatherworker, potentially. We'll have to wait and see until 3 weeks from now. But, yeah, we're going to have most of the upgrades. I might push Mining a little bit so we get the second to last upgrade. Which means the only one we would be missing is the tier 9 upgrade. Assuming there is one, or how they're allocating it. So we should have pretty much everything we need for those. I wish it was being released the other way around, though. Because the one where we make the Leatherworker gloves is coming before we get the speed increase from mining. So if we want to train any Leatherworker for the better Forager gauntlets, we kind of can't. Like, we could, but it's just going to be slower. I was doing this some off-stream, actually. But, it would be slower than if we were to just, you know, wait for the update in, like, 3 weeks. Is the other reason why we're waiting for Forager right now. I'm still doing some Forager between now and then. We're kind of waiting until we get the Forager gloves. And with the Forager gloves, we'll be able to use the enhanced speed or whatever they end up doing in order to go and, you know, for the final milestone of Forager, be able to go and speed it up a little bit. There's the other reason why I'm delaying it, so that we could use the Forager gloves from beginning to end. I want to do it all the way from level 0 to, you know, max in that category with the Forager gloves. Of course, it's only going to be the tier 5 or 6 Forager gloves, but, you know, we'll still have the benefit for half of whatever it does, if nothing else. Won't have it for everything, but hopefully the things that it does hit are actually the more useful things overall. But at this point, honestly, I might just go process all my iron in here. I forget how much iron you can process per hour. I want to say it's several hundred, but I haven't done it in so long, I actually don't know. I don't know if it's like 400-ish or 700-ish or what the number is. I actually completely forget. I guess we can somewhat guesstimate based on how much knowledge, because I know it's like just only slightly above 3 knowledge points per hour. So since every single set is taking, or, you know, is giving us, what, 3 knowledge? 3%? Yeah, every single set is giving us 3% because each one is 0.5 of a percent or so. So we can kind of figure it out inversely. So that means we could do about 100 and something sets. Okay, yeah, so it is about 700 something you could do per hour then. I was just double checking. Because each bar is about 0.5. So to be able to get over 3 knowledge points per hour, it would have to be about, it's around 3.3 knowledge points per hour, roughly. So that means it should be 720 per hour. I wasn't sure. That means I could process the rest of what's in there within the next hour or so then. We're also doing bounties, obviously, whenever they're ready. And maybe for the last bit, we'll actually make rapiers as we're doing it as well. Because I might use those rapiers a bit later down the line. There isn't too much of a need to use one-hand weapons at the moment, but, you know, once special attacks and everything come out, it might have some kind of dash or other special ability that would make it worthwhile to actually use. Because as a DPS weapon, it is very, very bad. There are very few instances you would ever really need to use it in the current state of the game. Like, there are some rare niche instances where you use a shield in the current state of the game, but it's very, very rare until, you know, special attacks and more things come into the game that would actually justify using a shield. Otherwise, the two-hand weapons always end up just being better. Which I even unequipped my one-hand weapon just so it wouldn't keep accidentally swapping to it. Because it technically had a better power, but because of the blue weakness, I need to make sure it wasn't using it. Because it kept accidentally defaulting to it, even though it was weaker. When I was doing the AFK Crow thing. So the easy solution was just remove it. Remove it so we can't even use a one-hand. That was the easiest way to fix it. I did that for raid dens back in the day as well, back when they were like really meta. I was actually even doing some off-stream. We got a detective level from them. I was just kind of trying them out because I need something somewhat AFK. End up just going in rage potions, but I did do a little bit of raid dens. They're definitely an improvement compared to what they were before the milestones, but definitely a mega ultra deluxe nerf compared to what they were before the first combat rework. Like, they are so horrifically bad compared to the first combat rework. But at least relative to what they were in between those two times, yeah, it's a bit of an improvement. They're still not great, though. At least at this high of a combat level. If you were, like, more even on them on combat level, it probably wouldn't be as bad. The problem is when you have a high disparity between your level and them. Obviously, the upside of that is you don't need to go and gear up or anything, but the downside is you're getting almost, like, no combat XP. You're getting some, but I did the math on it. I think it was, like, 1/4 what I was actually getting from doing normal combat. It was very, very, very low. Like, doing passive enemies was more than double it. Even when accounting for the knowledge point. Since you are getting about 3 times as much knowledge points while doing detective compared to doing the enrage potion. But even when accounting that, it's still like 2 times better to use enrage potion on a lower level enemy than it is to do raid dens with this big of a level disparity between them. It's one of the reasons I've been kind of hesitant to go too crazy on combat on my old accounts. In case I ever want them to go do raid dens. Because at their level range, raid dens isn't as bad because they're combat level 4 or so. With their raid den enemies around like, you know, like 3 or so, 2.5, somewhere around there. So their XP rate actually isn't that horrific. And they still are at the level range where they never need to gear up. They simply walk in and they're good to go regardless what level they're at. But it's also still a low enough level that they can actually get like good XP right there. Luckily, the detective XP rate isn't nerfed anymore, but the combat sure is. Like, mega ultra deluxe nerfed. But the detective XP isn't anymore. The only thing that kind of got nerfed with that is your tool doesn't work for anymore. The manacles, or whatever they're called, the detective thingies. The handcuffs. Those don't work on the raid dens anymore. You can't double them, nor is there like a flat like 10% XP or whatever you'd have had before. But instead their base XPs increase. Do you feel do you feel you get the filtration bounties enough? Yeah, we've been getting like 2 to 3 every single time so far. We haven't really gotten unlucky on them, I don't think. Obviously there's like a bit of downtime in between if you don't have the auto bounties. But yeah, I've been getting quite a bit of them. Definitely not enough to do them perpetually, of course. But if you had the shiny bounties where they reset instantly, you definitely could. These even worst case scenario, let's say we take 2 minutes per each. We count it as about 1 minute and 40-ish seconds or so on average. But let's say it takes like 2 minutes each, counting everything. If we got 3 bounties, we'd still have to wait like 50 minutes for a new set of bounties. Even if we end up getting 3 of them. So there's quite a bit of wait time in between. I do wish I was at a bounty level where I could just keep spamming them over and over and over again, though. But we're way too far away from that to be able to go and do that anytime soon. Though I can definitely see myself doing that a lot when we are at milestone 8. Like doing that as a primary training method. Like literally just cycling through bounties just so I can go get to a filtration station. Because that would save a lot of money on tier 8. It also means I don't need to go get as many supplies for tier 8. Like, I can focus on stone more than smithing for tier 8 specifically. Because I'm probably going to do that. Because filtration station should be better than whatever space bounties you end up getting for stonemason. As that doesn't have any, you know, like resource input or anything. So filtration station is actually really, really, really good. It doesn't even take that much longer than a normal bounty. Especially when you account for the fact that you have to process the bar, then make the thing that takes 30 seconds. Like, if you could do the higher rarity ones, I'm not sure how difficult they're going to be. But if you can do the higher difficulty ones, or even the easy ones that we currently have access to. As long as you can do those under 2 minutes, and the higher difficulty ones, I'm not sure how difficult they'll get, but let's say under 3 minutes or so. Then, yeah, they're pretty much just better than doing the normal bounties. Both in the fact that they're free, but also in the fact that they're pretty much the same amount of time anyways. When you account for the process of making the bars, of getting the ore, either mining it or, you know, buying it from shop. Then the 30-second timer of you actually making the item. Then the time of actually getting over to the Kobold arena if you have to turn them in. Like, when you're accounting for all that compared to Filtration Station is actually looking pretty good. Especially when you account for how free it is. And that's just pure profit rather than, like, barely break even. Okay, so far it seems like everything's barely breaking even. But, Filtration Station is always just pure profit. Like, every cent you make from it is just pure profit. The only thing you have to account for is the time to get there. Which doesn't take that long, but is still a factor. Because you gotta go from wherever you are, teleport over there, go all the way to the west here, check your bounties there if you want to refresh them, and then go into the Filtration Station. Like, it's definitely not no time, but, you know, it doesn't take that long. Or it's definitely more than none. As far as, you know, time consumed. So that reminds me, what is the closest bounty board? Because I think there's a 4th bounty board I haven't found yet. Let me go see if I could try to find that on the map while we're processing this next set. Because I believe there's one more smithing bounty board we haven't engaged with yet, and I'm curious where it is. Because they said there was 4. Oh, it was in the Kobold thing. Never mind. Yeah, we've seen them all, I think. Because one of them was in there. One of them is where granite is. One of them is in the gnome area. And then one of them is in the goblin area. Oh yeah, never mind. We've seen them all. Yeah, which one is closest to a teleporter then? I would say this one, but it's hard to tell because they put it all the way in the corner of the room. But I think that's still the closest one. It's because this one has to go a really long way in either direction to get to it. And there's a really swervy path down. So yeah, I would say this is the closest bounty board. Maybe that's why they put it all the way in the corner over there. Just to make it not as enticing compared to the other ones. Because if they put it over here, it'd be kind of broken compared to every other bounty board for this. Whereas putting it over here, I think it is still the quickest, but it's a lot more balanced, at least. So that must be why they put it in all the way to the corner there. Oh, we almost got our second smithing level as well during all this. How long have we been going? 2 hours and getting like a smithing level an hour? Oh, we started at like a level and a half, so technically we're getting slightly less than 1 smithing level per hour. Some of that time was reading the patch notes and everything though too. Yeah, so maybe we are getting about a level an hour then actually. Like some of that was the patch as well, when we were waiting for the patch. As well as learning the minigame, though now we know the minigame. Yeah, we're getting about 1 level an hour. Which isn't great, but it's not awful. We're at tier 7 after all. It's not like we're at like a really low tier. It's still not great compared to some other skills though. Like even Forager at my current tier is still a little over a level an hour, which is kind of crazy. Like, you know, with the whole starfish loop and everything. Which we'll need to get back to that grind soon. I don't know, maybe I'll start it tomorrow though. Do some errands I need to go run tomorrow. We're still in the like this stall until Forager Glove phase right now. But we will be all back in on that soon. Of course, most recently we took off for Slay the Spire 2 for 4 days. Though I did completely finish it. We got the timeline completely finished for that game. We got to Ascension 5 on every character. We had a 100% win rate for like 30 hours or so. Until we finally lost once. I think we had like a dozen runs or so. 100% win rate until we finally lost. It was pretty fun. And the game got like crazy popular. I'm not sure why. Like Slay the Spire 1... Like, it only ever had like 10, 20, 30,000 people ever playing at a given time. And then Slay Spire 2 is like, oh, just 500,000. It was crazy, especially the first day stream. But, it's been a lot of fun. They made it a lot easier than I was expecting, though. I'm not sure if they're going to turn up the difficulty a little bit at some point. There's also some things that are definitely not balanced yet that definitely need to be tweaked a bit. As far as some things that are way too weak or way too strong. It's one of the reasons I kind of pretty much stopping with it now until, you know, it comes closer to launch or until they do like a big content update or something. Because they definitely got a way to go on Slay the Spire 2's balance. A lot of stuff they need to make stronger. Things they need to just balance out a bit more. Particularly the newer characters. Also, I just realized I have one other side goal today that we need to go do. Even if we have to go do stonemason for like 10 minutes or something, or go do back to mining, or go do a forge or a loop. We have to go get 5555 today. I cannot end the stream today without 5555. So 2 of those levels are probably going to be smithing. I need to go do like one single stonemason level at some point this stream. Maybe I'll go do it after the smithing level just to go get it now. So that our next smithing level will be the 5555. Because we cannot end this stream without 5555. It is required. That's gonna be the goal now. We'll keep doing smithing bounties until we're 5555 total level. And I'll go get that one stonemason level as soon as we finish out our current smithing level then. And hopefully by then the bounties are almost ready for the next set. But yeah, that has to happen. We can't get that off stream. We gotta complete out the 5555. I'm not actually sure if I have any smithing banked at this level range is the only problem. I'm hoping my flint got converted. I think it did, though I'm not 100% certain if it got converted into tier 7. The fact I've already done it before makes me think I did, but I'm not 100% certain. But I don't know, we'll go check once we get our smithing level, I guess. So we can go get our quick stonemason level and then go back to smithing for a whole level then. Which does mean we will not end up finishing to tier 3 or level 3 of the current level grind, but that's fine. Actually, I'm not even sure if I have enough iron ore to even get that far. We'd have to offset it with bounties. We'll just do that over a long duration of time since, you know, we can only check it once every hour. It's not something we can, like, infinitely grind out, unfortunately. At least not at our level range. One more inventory, we'll have a level, then we'll go check on the stonemason stuff. Put all that away, grab our iron, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, the amount of iron that we have left in there is not even enough for a whole level. Hopefully bounties will offset it enough, though. Also, I really gotta recolor this armor. It's bothering me like crazy that it's like slightly off. Though it does remind me that some other colors do look good other than this all blue. I just love the all blue outfit though. It just looks so clean on Cryonite. There are a lot of other colors that do look nice though. Alright, there's our level. Alright, we'll finish out this inventory, go get a quick stonemason level. And then we need to go get one more smithing level so that we can get 5555 then. And of course we'll offset it with bounties where applicable. At some point I'm gonna run out of iron ore though. At which point maybe we'll just start making some rapiers or something. Actually, I'll probably do that once we come back from stonemason. I'll probably start processing them, some of them into rapiers. Because we should already have enough that we won't need more. Because we're already going to have over like 2,500 bars. So I can start processing some of the extra 500-ish like into rapiers as we're going. And just sell them out and obviously keep the tier 3 ones for ourselves. Hopefully get some high rolls of 88 and 89%. Is with boost potions, there are some rare circumstances where we actually would use them. If we wanted to take on an enemy that's weak to blue really early, we could use a rapier with a shield. Just so we're a bit tankier so we don't die to them like instantly. It's one of the only instances where I'd really want to use a rapier in the current state of the game. If we want to fight a blue enemy like absurdly early. Like, I'm talking like 10 levels earlier than you should be or something. Like 5-10 levels early. It's like one of the only instances you would use a rapier. The problem is the level range that you would use it for is so short. Like, we're talking like 10-ish levels at most. There's the weapon I'm using now, and when we upgrade it to like level 25 or 30 or whatever we do it to. Like, if we upgrade to 25, it will last all the way to the following tier. Like, it'll last for like 25 levels. Alright, do we have tier... Oh, good, we do. Oh, we don't have a lot, though. But I do have some. Hopefully this is enough for a level. If nothing else, we do have 1,000 of them sitting in there that we can make into stuff. But we're just going to do this for one quick stonemason level while we're in the area. And then we'll go back to smithing, and then hopefully the bounties are almost ready. They're ready in 20 minutes. And then we'll do smithing until we get the 4 5s. But overall, I definitely like what they did with the smithing bounties. Aside from merchant, I would probably say it's the best bounty system in the game. Both from a how much money it saves you while getting smithing up, as well as a... they're just fun. I like the little gimmicks that each one of them has, particularly the little puzzle minigame thing. And really curious to see what the highest difficulties are as well. We only had easy so far. I won't get to see those until a couple days from now, you know, as we cycle through the difficulties. But hopefully by next week's Monday I'll have them all unlocked so we can show them all for the Forager Glove stream. Yeah, I think that's the earliest I'll have them all unlocked, most likely. Unless I check it like 18 times a day or something. But if I check it a realistic amount of times per day, we should have them unlocked by the Monday Forager Glove stream. Assuming Forager Gloves actually come out on time. I assume the only reason why this one was mega delayed is just because it's a lot more complicated than quite a few other updates. As it's a lot more involved compared to, you know, most other bounty systems. Like, definitely way more involved in, you know, the fishing bounties. As far as how many mechanics they had to add and everything. Alright, we'll go process these all into stuff, and then we'll go sell them out, and we'll be good to go. Unfortunately, they do require 4 pieces instead of 3, but at least their sell price and XP rate have been compensated for it. I believe we just make these in the balls. Yep, this is the ball one. At least it goes evenly now. Well, I guess it technically went evenly before. It was just like a really weird amount, but yeah, it does go, you know, like evenly column-wise. There you go, boom, 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 boom. Alright, we'll process all these, sell them all. That should be a stonemason level. And then back to smithing until we get a level. And that should, at this point, be 2 more bounty boards probably for smithing then. The one that's coming up and then the one that comes up after them. Oh, first time bonus. Oh, we already got a level. Nice. Still gotta process them all while we're here, though. They're already in our inventory. It'll be a weapon upgrade for later if we get a tier 3 from here. Still gotta do the bone right stuff at some point, though. I've really been neglecting bone right spear material. Obviously, we have a lot of smithing stuff and a little bit of stonemason stuff, but I am, like, so lacking on bone right ever since they buffed it. Because now everything in bone right requires 1 less bone. They also moved around what bones are needed for various stuff. Unfortunately, the bone spike is no longer needed for the really good weapon. They end up changing it to femur, I believe. Yeah, they changed it to femur. To make the best green weapon in the game now requires femur instead of bone spike. Yeah, they kind of moved it all around, but they also made everything cheaper. Like, every single thing in bone right now requires 1 less bone. Which makes it a lot more accessible to make quite a bit of this stuff. I just haven't really gotten around to it since then. Obviously we will whenever bone right bounties come out. But until then, we're probably not making a single bone right item. But once it does, we can start getting some spears. And obviously with stonemason bounties in about 2 weeks from now, we will also be able to make stuff then. As those are around the corner. Oh, is that max Cryonite armor? Because that looks fancy. Ooh. That'll be ours soon. We're almost there. We're 31 combat levels away. Just need to keep Ave keen for like 31 more hours. And we'll have armor as fancy as that. Doesn't look that much different, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the final tier visual for Cryo. Except he's wearing the chainmail one right now rather than the chest plate. That final one. Last thing we'll need to make for stonemason today. And then back to smithing. Oh yeah, what's our bounties gonna look like? Oh gosh. I should start getting the death stone now. Not literally now, but... Oh gosh. I don't know, maybe literally now. We need to kill a little bit of time before the bounties are ready. Because I'm gonna need it in 2 weeks. I might as well have it a little bit preemptively. Should I go do 1 inventory of death stone while we're waiting? I'm gonna do like literally one inventory. Just one inventory. But yeah, we're gonna need that because our bounty task for when stonemason comes out is gonna be 3 things related to flint, the shield, and assuming it's doing 5, 1 random thing all the way at the other tier. But ideally we'd be by basalt by then. So we just have the basalt stuff. Actually, do I have basalt bank? Let me double check real quick while we're in this bank. I need to go there anyways for the explosives. Do I have basalt tier 7 banked? Because if that's the case, the only thing I would be missing is Deathstone for when stonemason bounties come out in 2 weeks. Let me just double check. I'm gonna go do one inventory while we're here, but let me check stone. Do I have basalt tier 7? Oh no. Oh no! I don't. I only have tier 8. Oh no! Hey, we did get some tier 7 Deathstone earlier. Wait, do I even have the explosives for? I just kind of assumed I did. Okay, good, I do. Not that many though. I do have some. I was gonna do one inventory real quick. One nice thing about Deathstone now, even though they're still pretty horrible, they do give you 2, or I should say blast mining. They do give you 2 per thing now. The most annoying thing is they still have the extremely long delay. That hasn't changed. Hey, we're not hearing the explosion because I have third-party sounds turned off. I can turn them on real quick. Because I'm like, wait, why is the explosion so silent? It sounds like it should be like so loud. But it's because I have it completely turned off for some other things in the game. But for whatever reason, it actually mutes your Deathstone noise. Yeah, after this one inventory, we'll go back to the smithing thing then. But yeah, I'm gonna need to get a oh, oops, I forgot. They spawn in literally same order. I should do this one first because of where the pattern is, though. Hey, there's all of our knowledge. Nice, good to go. Alright, there's all of our Deathstone. I'm even gonna pre-etch it, so we're ready to go. I got a whole set of 24 ready for stonemason bounties later. I'll probably grab more than that later off stream, but there we go. We got one inventory. This is kind of like the what you call it? This is kind of like the Durbeam, but for stonemason. It's effectively the same thing. It just makes all the shields. But you can't buy it from shop, so if you're doing a lone wolf, you gotta get it yourself. So if you want to prepare for stonemason in 2 weeks, go get a bunch of Deathstone for whatever level range you're at. In our case, tier 7 Deathstone. Because you will need this on stonemason bounty day in 2 weeks. We'll get more of it later, but for now we have one inventory done. And now we'll go back to smithing until we get a level. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to go use my knowledge point. I should have done that already. Whoops, I'm wasting some knowledge here. Which of course we'll be putting onto smithing. Should have done that beforehand though. Whoops. Smithing. Smithing. Alright, there we go. And of course now we get to use the 10% XP pot on these as well. And once we go finish doing these, we'll go and of course I'm not going to make the shields yet because we need those for the bounties. We'll go bank all this and back to iron ore, and hopefully the bounty board's almost ready. We've got 10 minutes on the bounty board. We'll do iron ore until it's ready, go clear out the bounty board. Hopefully be able to go to the other area, clear those out. Though I do need to go buy more of that tier 6 ore because we're in a weird level range right now, though. So one of the reasons I want to kind of get past that. Ideally, we want to be like level 6 there, so we get mostly just the iron stuff. As that stuff we already have banked, so it should be pretty easy to do the task compared to anything else we'd be getting. Whereas all this stuff's really annoying because you got to go all the way over to the other furnace. That's something that's actually going to be nice about doing the stonemason bounties. Well, I believe the turn-in location is probably going to be weird and all over the place because of how the slimes are going to work, the stone eaters. You make all your stuff in one location. That's one thing that's a little bit annoying for smithing, especially at this level range that we're at. Is you have to keep going back and forth between two different furnaces. Between the gnome and goblin furnaces. Whereas you don't have to do that with stonemason or with bonewright. You just do it all in the same room. Whereas smithing has two different locations where you have to make everything. That's why these two aren't made, because they're made in the other corner. They're not made in the current area that we're processing in right now. Which makes it a little bit weirder to do. Since you're switching between two whole different areas, whereas stonemason and bonewright are just one singular area. As far as where you process everything. Yeah, for the rest of these iron, I think we're going to make rapiers as we go. So I'm going to make all these into bars, but then immediately make them into rapier. Which is why we're using this furnace. It saves, I think it's like 1 tile? It's like 1 or 2 tiles. Compared to if you did it here and then did this furnace. When you're just banking them, it is closer to the left furnace. But if you're making them in the bars and then making them into product, it is quicker to do this one into the goblin forge over there. But yeah, we tiled mathed it out at one point. I'm not going to do it again right now, though. But I think it was like 1 or 2 tiles better. I can't remember. But it's only if you're processing them immediately. Obviously, for banking, it's better to go back and forth over there. But if you're just immediately processing them, it's better to use this furnace. Oh, someone's doing the metal AFK. So far, we've only done that for 1 tier. We will be getting it again soon, though. Oh, I shouldn't say the word soon, but... Of course, we did it near the end of tier 6 with some of the stuff we got from tier 6 Forger. But we do have it again at tier 7. Oh, I just realized that. We have different level filtration stations? Wait, what? Wait, what? The faulty flow. Wait, how do I do that at other level ranges? The flow controls are broken, meaning the water moves faster. Use reservoirs so the water flow. Hey, what's this? Rotate only. What's all this? Are there like different things at different level ranges? Generator station. Why do I have all this unlocked? Do I have to like pass action? No, I can't even pass action the thing. I was gonna pass action the board, but you can't even do it. How does that work then? It's showing a bunch of unlocks here, but it's not showing it for any level other than our highest level. There's no pass action on the board to go do previous thing. Weird. But yeah, we're at basic right now. I guess we unlock more things later as we keep going higher. So we're at the, like the basic of basic. But then there's also this. The filter must be powered by sending the water through the generator first. Is that not how it already works? Or is it like a new mechanic with a generator? And then after that, yeah, see all the mechanics. I guess we can look at them early. Oh, what's this mechanic? Pipes cannot be swapped, only rotated. That's how I thought it was going to work originally. But eventually you're going to be rotate only. I feel like rotate only would actually be easier, honestly. Then we have faulty flow. The flow controls are broken, meaning the water moves faster. Use the reservoirs to slow the water flow. So you'll be able to divert the water in some way to make it go slower. What do we have here? Twin filter. Oh gosh, you're gonna have to put it through 2 filters. You must filter the corrupted water twice. Oh gosh. That's going to start getting annoying from 6 and onwards from that. You must filter the corrupted water twice before piping the outputs to the correct exits. Alright, what do we get at 7? At 7, a dam is blocking the filter. The dam will open once the corrupted water has traveled through enough pipes. Placed pipes are overwritten instead of being swapped. Wait, what do you mean overwritten? That seems like a weird one. Alright, tier 8 that we don't have access to anytime even remotely soon. There are 2 streams of corrupted water. Oh no! You must filter both corrupted streams separately and then pipe the filtered outputs to the correct exits. Is that with the double filtration? So you're trying to tell me there's going to be double pipe and you have to double filtrate both of them? Because that'd be insane. And what's the final one? That sounds like a nightmare. What's the final one? The pipes come on a conveyor belt. Pipes are overwritten instead of being swapped. That sounds funny. Like there's gonna be just a conveyor belt and you just gotta grab what you need. And just gonna be like a panicked rush. It's like, oh no, where's the piece? Come on, spawn already. I need that piece. I need it straight. Oh, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be so chaotic. But if you have to double filter the double, that is gonna be crazy annoying to do. If you have to double filter the double. Oh, find out whenever we get there. What's the highest difficulty we'd have right now? Yeah, it's whatever this was, which I still don't understand what this is. A dam is blocking the filter. The dam will open once the corrupted water has traveled through enough pipes. So what do you mean by that? So we basically have to delay the corrupted water for X amount of time and then put it through or something? I wonder how many pipes that would be. I guess we'd kind of get a feel for it as we'd get to that difficulty range. But it feels like that minigame's got a lot going on. It reminds me a lot of how detective works and that it keeps getting, like, you know, a new thing every single time. As far as how, like, the investigations work. It kind of reminds me, like, of that kind of mechanic. Or, like, every single tier, you just keeps getting increasingly more difficult. Because at this point, detectives really, investigations really been the only thing that's had it. But now we also have the filtration station. And then, of course, other future things that will also end up bringing it. Where something in the skill starts off very, very easy. But then gets increasingly more difficult and elaborate as you get to the final level. I'm a little bit scared of what filtration puzzle is going to look like near the end, though. Because unlike the max level investigations, which are still pretty easy, I have a feeling max level filtration is going to be a nightmare and a half to go do. Like, they might not even be worth doing. They might actually be that hard. But I don't know. We'll find out when we get there, eventually. Yeah, that's going to be like a puzzle and a half. Not to mention, they're probably going to take like 3, 4, 5 minutes to solve as well. Instead of like the current ones that are only taking like a minute and a half. I know we'll have to wait and see by the time we get there. Alright, bounty boards are ready in like 2 minutes. So once we finish all these rapiers, we should be good to go. And then we just got to go get 2/3 of a smithing level and be good to go as well. Which at this point, we should be able to do it under an hour. So this might be actually be the last bounty board we need to get. But every single hour on the hour, I will be checking these things off stream. I'll even be doing the bone right AFK, which is not necessarily an AFK I should be doing. But it's the closest AFK to this area that is viable to go do. So I'll be doing that, so every single hour I can go check this. Like every hour I'm awake and home for the next like 4 days, I will be checking this board to try to get filtrations. So that we can have it at max level by the time Forager Gloves come out, hopefully on Monday. So we can show both in one stream. As far as other streams for Brighter Shores, I think I'm only going to do one more this week. And it's either going to be tomorrow or on Friday. Probably on Friday, just because I have a lot of errands I need to run tomorrow. So Friday around like noonish, we'll probably push for Jade Monument, I think. We'll grind to 42 and then go do the entirety of the Jade Monument grind. I think that will be our goal for Friday then. And then off stream, I'm just going to try to get all the filtrations so that Monday Forager Gauntlets will be able to go do both at the same time. Go through all the difficulties of the filtration, showing them, as well as go do, you know, everything with Forager Gloves and start pushing for the levels. Because by then I should be aligned pretty much perfectly at level 9 milestone as well for Forager. As we'll grind to 42, or technically like 43, 44 on Friday. And then by the time Monday hits on Forager Gloves, we should have exactly 9 to go along with our Forager Gloves. That'll pretty much be the game plan. So off stream, we'll just be grinding a little bit of Forager, checking these bounties every hour. On Friday, we'll be doing a stream pushing for it, as well as doing Jade Monument piece. And then by Monday, hopefully everything will perfectly align, where we'll have max difficulty, or at least relative to our level range. We'll have max difficulty bounties for the new minigame, as well as Forager Gloves to start the final tier of the Forager grind. And then we go finish that out, get Monument, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, hopefully that'll work out. And then hopefully within that week I can get Forager to max, because I want to go really crazy on it starting from that Monday. Because I shouldn't have anything going on that week that will really distract me from it for the most part. If I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. What week is that? I don't think I have a single thing at all getting in the way of that grind. Yeah, there's not a single thing. We should be able to go grind it like every single day. Well, that Monday will be a little bit of a shorter stream because we're just kind of going over stuff. But starting from that Tuesday of next week, yeah. From that Tuesday to like that following Sunday, we should be able to go like every single day all the way. That's making the bold assumption that we can actually finish the entirety of Tier 9 in a week. Who knows? Maybe we can. I'm not sure how much slower Tier 9 is because I haven't had to do it for any skill yet. Because Forager is currently my highest leveled skill. It feels weird to say. It has overtaken everything now. Not counting combat, but combat's a different system. But Forager is our highest level skill now. It feels really weird given that it was our lowest level skill like a month ago. But it is now our highest level skill. It's actually crazy how much you can 180 a skill within a single month. Like, I see how Zohan is, like, maxed. If you just dedicate a month to any skill, it will get maxed. You do that enough time, everything will get maxed. Oh, we even got another 9,000. Gosh, all the 9,000s are showing up today. The entire 9,000 population almost in one room. Which, how many 9,000s are there these days? There are currently 7 9,000s in the game. And 2 of them are in this room earlier. Well, one's still in the room. There's 9 of them. Oddly enough, half of them have trading enabled and half of them are undecided. I'm actually really surprised by that. The highest confirmed Iron Man or Lone Wolf is Ren. At 8,390. Obviously, they could decide to go Lone Wolf as well. But I'm actually surprised. Everyone who's max decided either undecided or trading enabled. I'm really surprised there's no max Lone Wolf yet. Ren might be the first one unless one of them decide to change over to Lone Wolf before then. Oh yeah, bounties are ready. I forgot to go check them. I should probably go check because some of them are actually for rapiers as well, which I need to make, of course. Alright, let's go see what our bounties are. Come on, rapiers and water filtration station. Come on. Show us the filtration station. Oh, yes. Even some higher rarity ones. Nice, nice, nice. Should we go send the filtrations first, the rapiers first? Both of these are make only. Okay, we'll come back for the filtration because I'll just grab them from the board when we're over there. I should actually take the filtration station last. The main reason for this is you can just grab them in front of the board. So all of these we'll just go and turn in and do as we need, and then we just turn the other ones in right in front of the board. So here, we were already going to be making some rapiers, but I guess we'll make our full inventory of rapiers. 4 of them I need for a task. The other 2 we're just going to make because why not? We're already here. And then we'll go to the other area, get 1 more inventory of green ore. and go make all the bows we need and everything. So we need 5 bows, 2 axes, and 4 throwing axes, of which only the 1 bow has to be turned in. And then when we go turn in that bow, we go and do the bounties then for the filtration. And we have 3 of them queued up. And now every single one of these rapiers we get quite a bit more XP for. Actually, how much of a difference is it? Let's see. Because we're getting 50,000 something from that. What is the base XP? We'll find out in a second when we go back into the menu. Because I'm curious how much more it is. If I had to guess, it's like 12-ish thousand more XP per rapier. Plus double the knowledge, plus the little bit of money that we'd be getting from it. Instead of 3%, it should move up by almost like 6%, somewhere around there. Let's see. Yeah, we're normally getting like 40,000 XP. So we're getting an extra like 10, 11,000 XP per rapier. Just for making them. We don't even have to turn them in or anything. That's not too bad. But yeah, a little, at this level range, we're getting a little over 10,000 extra XP per rapier made. As well as basically break-even money as well. Though we did get these for free, so this is just pure profit at this point. As all this iron was mined. Alright, this is the last one for the bounty, but since I already have them on us and we have so many of them, I will make 2 more as we normally would. That is the bounty completed. And then we'll go and stock up on all the other supplies we need and go head to the corner. Get all these orders in, and then we have 3 filtration to go send. But yeah, so far I haven't seen a 3 times or 4 times rarity for the turn-ins. Also, it doesn't look like I need to go give it a higher rarity one. Oh no, I guess we'll find out when we get there. But it seems like I could just bring them a normal bow. I'll try bringing a tier 1 and see what happens. But if we do get a tier 2, I'll bring it with me just in case. But from what I can tell, you can just bring a tier 1. I don't see really anything indicating that you have to bring a tier 2. But I'll still save one if we get one, just in case. Also, have we gotten a tier 3 rapier yet? Or 3-star rapier? I don't think we have. Let me go buy 1 inventory of green ore. The Adathril. And then we'll go process that, go get all these in, and then go get our 3 filtrations in. And then from there, we should just be able to iron ore all the way to the end. And get our nice 5555. Alright, what are we doing? I am buying 1 full inventory of green little rocks. I'm then teleporting over to the green rock area. This is not the green rock area. Well, this is where you mine the green rock area. This is not where you process the green rock area. Wrong green rock area. Now we just make all these in the bar so we can go make all this stuff then. So I gotta make 5 bows, 2 axes, and 4 throwing axes. And all of that, the only thing we have to turn in from all that is just the bow. Everything else is just make only, so if we get a higher rarity, we get to keep it. Same with the bows, we would just make another one. But I'll make the bows first, and then I'll worry about the other 2. Also, hopefully I have enough ores banked for the other 2. Because there's actually a chance I run out of ore here. Because the battle axe requires 5. The throwing axes require 3. And I'm pretty sure the bow is 4. I forgot how much we banked earlier, but that means we need 10, 22... and then 15, 37. I need 37 of these, and I only brought 24. So hopefully we banked the difference earlier and didn't end up using them. Because otherwise, I'm not going to have enough to go do all these. But the bows are the most important, so we'll get them done first. Yep, hello, hello. And half a smithing level to go. Should probably keep an eye on our knowledge rate, though. I don't want to over-encumber while we're at the filtration station after we finish these. Because we're going to make all this, then we're going to turn in the bow, and then since the turn-in location of the bow is right by filtration, we then do filtration. Which I assume is the intended gameplay loop. Is you basically start at Gnome Forge. You then come over to this forge. The Dwarf Forge. You then turn in everything at Blacksmith, or at the Kobold Arena. And then right outside the door of Kobold Arena is the, well, maybe not right outside, but there's one in the room as well as one right over here. Then you just go straight to a filtration station. I assume that's the gameplay loop. Where you do Goblin first, you do Goblin Forge first, then you do Gnome Forge. Then you turn in everything at the Kobold Arena. And then after turning in everything at Kobold Arena, you go do Filtration. And that's pretty much the bounty loop for any level range. Or most level ranges. Alright, so we need 5 bows. Start making these out. Hopefully we'll get one high tier one, because these are actually pretty good at some level ranges. It's pretty much our best range weapon. As it's both two-handed and it's our only green weapon. Unfortunately, the 3 ammo one is better than the 4 ammo one. But the 4 ammo one we can go and downgrade to any level we want, whereas the 2 star one we can't, unfortunately. Now we got a generic one. Oh, also first time bonus. I haven't even bothered making it. Wait, you need 6 for this? Why did I think it was 4? Oh no. Oh, we are really gonna run out of bars then. Alright, maybe we're just gonna make the bows for now, since it's the most important thing. I'm really gonna run out if they require 6. Oh no. I need a whole second inventory. The most important one to get done is this one, so let me go move it just in case. Just in case. I think I have some bank though. But probably not enough to do every order, but at least we'll be able to do the bows if nothing else. These other ones we can come back for later. They're not too big a deal. Also, abandoning them wouldn't be that big a deal either. They're pretty bad tasks. They require a lot of annoying carpentry supplies. Some of which I do have banked, but I don't have a lot of it banked. It'd probably be better for us to do the battle axe rather than the throwing axes, as I have a lot more of that material banked. But yeah, I'm gonna try turning it in the 1-star bow and see if it tells me that it requires a 2-star, because technically this is a tier 2 task, but it doesn't specify that I need a tier 2 bow. So I'll drop it and give him a tier 1 bow and see what happens. Or see if it's required that it has to be tier 2. Because we did get one. Alright, let me go get 6 more bars. I should have them laying in there. So this would be a good time to check how many we have left. Which is not a lot. Yeah, not a lot. But enough. I also have enough to make the 2 axes, so let me grab all the supplies I need for that, actually. I'll just do everything except the throwing axes, I guess. Might still do them, but for now we're kind of ignoring them. But the main thing I need here is 2 U-poles at tier 6. Alright, that should be everything. I'll also get our first time bonus here since I don't believe we have yet. Actually, so much so, let's just go make the potion real quick. Put this in the smithing. And then go get the first time bonus on the thingy, might as well. Not that big a deal, but we'll go get that. Make 2 of these and then 1 bow. And that should be everything except throwing axe completed then. Then we just gotta turn in the bow and go do 3 filtration minigames then. Also, come on, 3-star axe. I would love to adjust this for something later, when we have to come back to Mine to Batubin, because I don't have too many axes pre-made. So getting a 3-star one would actually be really, really nice. Because they generally cost a lot to make. But when we're doing them on bounty, they should pretty much break even. if we buy all the supplies and everything. And I really need a 3-star for only the metalith. Literally just the metaliths, but I need them for the metaliths for when we come to Mines of Bitumen later. We still got to do 150 more levels here eventually. Ah, we didn't get it. Unfortunate. Oh, so did I miscount? Oh, no, no. This is the exact number because they take 6. Alright, we got the exact number. Perfect. I just got to remember to drop 1 of each bow. As I do want to test what happens if we turn in a tier 1 compared to a tier 2. Will we even accept a tier 1? Does it have to be a tier 2? The only problem with that is that means the 3 times 1 is going to be really, really, really annoying to do. Alright, let me drop 1 of each. Sell everything else. Drop, sell all. Take all. Alright, let me go try giving it a 1-star bow and see what happens. If he doesn't accept it, the 3 times task might actually not be worth doing. We'll have to see how much the gold turn in and everything is. But keeping the 3-star as a weapon might actually be more valuable than turning it in. Oh, so how would a 4-star work then? Do you actually have to, like, fuse it together? If they actually did have a 4-star one. Oh, so who wanted this? Derek? Who's Derek? Derek right there. Alright, let me drop the 2-star and try giving him the 1-star and see what happens. Okay, good. He's fine with it. Let's see. Vulnerable to green. Alright, yeah, you don't have to do, the higher rarity. Unless he loses here or something. But he should be fine. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, you could just use a tier 1 bow. Wonder what would happen if you did give him a tier 2, though. Yeah, you don't need a tier 2. Alright, that's good to know. Too bad I can't sell them here now. I kind of have to store drift this. But yeah, you just have to do tier 1. Alright, let's go do the 3 filtrations, which should be right over here. I guess I could have grabbed it while I was over there as well. But there's another menu right over here. Also grab some granite if we want to while going there, but it's fine. And we should have 3 filtrations here. There we are. Basic, basic, and basic. Let's go do them. It's puzzle time! And I'll finish out the rest on, iron ore. Alright, I need a straight. Give me that straight. Gotta remember to curve it right over there. So we go right over there, get the curve. I need a downwards for over there, which I just took from somewhere else where I needed downwards, unfortunate. Where's a bottom left one? Need that over there. Get that right over there. I need weird corner. Where's weird corner? Where's weird corner? Where's weird corner? Why can't I find weird corner? Hello, weird corner. Let me just get to straight real quick. Oh, it's because it's probably in my inventory. No, it's not. Where's weird corner? Why can't I find weird corner? I'm going crazy. Oh no. Panic. Where's weird corner? Where's weird corner? Am I that blind? Where's the corner piece? Stop the button. Stop button. Stop. Why am I this blind? Why can't I find a corner piece here? Oh, it's right there. It's right there. Wait, no, that's the wrong direction. Where is the other corner piece? I'm so confused. Wait, am I that blind? Where's the other corner piece? It has to turn the other way. Let's see. Let's grab this one first. Actually, maybe we should do that first so we don't have that happen. Find all the weird corner pieces first. Also, why am I moving that one? That makes no sense. Let's see. But yeah, again, why can't I find weird corner piece? It's not like it's on me this time. Oh, it's right there on that one. Alright. How are we doing the other one right there? We just do that, get that in there, boom. Now we just need a bunch of straights for the other side and we're good to go. So we get a straight right over there, straight right over there. Another straight. And then we need a rightward curve. Let me guess, I'm gonna not find rightward curve now. Yes. What? Does it really want me to do like... Oh, no, it's right there. Oh, did I put in the wrong thing? I just did the thing wrong. No, that's bad. I did the thing wrong again. I didn't realize that the other thing was curved that way. How am I getting so bad at this after not doing it for a little while? Let's see. We can't possibly mess up this time. Alright, that one's already curving the right way. We can just do full vertical on it. We'll just use the one that's already there. Just so we can get there quicker. Okay, do not make any mistake here. There's no reason we should be making 2 in a row like that. Alright, that one's right over there. Grab that, and then we just get all the path we need for the other diseased one. For this, we just need a bunch of straights here. Get the last little bit of corner piece, and we should be good to go. That's technically already fine. Didn't need to move that one. Now we just need to go find other weird corner pieces. Not currently on me. It is right over there. Then we just need 2 straights, and we should be good to go. And then we go speed it up, and that should be everything. Yeah, see, was that hard? What happened to the other 2 runs? Alright, there we go. But yeah, the other difficulties are going to be a nightmare. We somehow just failed twice at the easiest difficulty. Alright, try again. Let me double check before we go confirm the next one. I want to see how many more we got to go do. Oh wait, we actually need weird corner piece. Where's weird corner piece? Let me grab that now. Because I need that immediately to go fit into right over there. Then we need vertical, vertical. I didn't need that to go over there. I didn't need a bunch of straights. I didn't need weird curvy. Where's weird curvy to the side? Right over there. Which I can then replace right over there, and then put that right over there. And now I just need like a billion straights everywhere. So you need a billion straights. The other side needs a billion straights. Luckily, all the straights are right over here, and we should be good to go. And then we can just speed it up then. And we just need 2 more. One from right over there, and then one from right over there. I'm not sure why. One of the harder, or quote-unquote harder difficulties is the fact that you have to, like, swap them around. Honestly, I feel like that'd be easier to do than this. If you just had to rotate them all, but they were already in the correct location. That sounds like it'd be easier than this. Oops, I didn't mean to stop it. I meant to speed it up. Whoops. I accidentally stopped the water instead of speeding it up. That's the exact opposite. Oh no, whoops. Wrong button. I want to see here how many we need. So I need 8 more. In 8 more bounties, we would have the medium difficulty. Alright, let's go get all the straights that we need. Remember to curve over there. So we get a straight over there, get a straight over there. I already have the curve on me. I should probably keep that. Let me get that curve right over there. Put that right there. Most of it's already in place. I just need a nice little vertical from right over there. And I just need a ton of verticals to go and connect it all. Now let me start working on the clean water, because the clean water is the more important one here. So let me go get clean water into there, and then I just need a straight to go put it together. And then we just need a ton of verticals, and we should be good to go. I just need a vertical into a straight, both of which are right over here, and then we go click the speed up button, and not the stop button on accident. Click the actual speed up button. So we click that, we click that, we click that, we now speed everything up, and that should be everything we need. That goes in there, and we are completed. Nice. Now we got 8 more to go do later. For next difficulty. Which assumably would give better XP and everything, assuming you can get them done quickly. And of course we got the 2 times the XP rate for the uncommon there. Nice. Alright, let's go back to iron ore. That is everything we can go do currently. And then a little bit of axes that we can maybe make later. Or just abandon them. For how much effort we have to do to go out of our way for them, honestly, I'm probably just going to abandon the axes. We already got the first time bonus for them, right? Or have we not? If the answer is yes, I think I'm abandoning axe. We have... Yeah, I think I'm just abandoning them. I think they're worth the effort for how little XP they're ultimately giving. They're one of the more annoying to make, especially without the carpentry supplies, just because they require so many of the carpentry supplies. Alright, let's go finish the last thing we need, which is 1 more smithing level. Which at this point, honestly, I think as soon as we get double knowledge bar, we're already good to go. We'll end up getting our smithing level, having a nice solid 5555. And then I just camp the AFK at Bone Right. And then every hour I come walk over here to go get our bounties. Until we have all the bounties. Until we're a master at that minigame at like max difficulty. I'll have a conveyor belt going and everything. No, we don't get conveyor belt yet. Hardest mechanic we would ever unlock is however on earth the dam system is working. Though I do have to say, the twin streams combined with the twin inputs, if you have to do both of those simultaneously, that's going to be a nightmare. I'm not sure if you do, if it's just one or the other. But if you had to do a twin filter for 2 of them, that would be crazy pathing. And I'll find out if we ever get that deep. Hopefully by Monday. Because I'm not sure how the unlocks are working. Because on her menu, it's divided into 4. But there's technically 10 categories based on the level ups. So I'm not sure exactly how that's dispersed. Because so far we've only completed, oh, wait. Maybe it's every 2? Because, yeah, we've only done basic so far. I forgot, you don't get it till tier 2, so there's technically only 8. Which means maybe there's 2 per thing. So maybe this is a basic mechanic you can end up getting, though we haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure how they're dividing it. Because there's technically 8 different unlocks, but there's only 4 different difficulties. But we haven't seen a second unlock for the current difficulty yet. Like, I haven't seen a generator yet, where the filter must be powered by sending the water through the generator first. Like, we haven't had that yet. Because there's 8 unlocks, but there's only 4 difficulties. Yeah, I think as soon as we get this double knowledge point in with our next 10%, we should be good to go. So a few more inventory of this, and boom. That should be it. And then off stream, I'll mostly just be sending Filtration Station. The only thing I'll be crafting is probably any of the 2 stars or higher. But otherwise, it's probably just going to be all Filtration Station. Or Rapiers. If one of them is like a turn-in for a Rapier, we'll do it. I actually need to make a bunch of Rapiers, not just because I have them banked, but I actually need the weapon eventually. It's not that great of a weapon, but, you know, it might be better than what I'm using at a given time if it's under-leveled. And we have some spare Rapiers to go use. It's good for taking on enemies early. Now, the problem is, the current zone I'm taking them on in, Death Crow's the only one we'd kind of want to take on early. Because Carnivorous Plant, you just infinitely keep healing if you truly want to take it out early. So 2-hand is perfectly fine. It's only the Crow that we would need to have. And it's not even that much early, because the earliest you can do Crow is at 0. Because you're forced, you can't do it any earlier than that because you have to unlock the pack. So it's not really helping you do it that much earlier. It just allows you to do it at 0 rather than needing to wait like a few more levels. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, Hopeport's not a particularly good place to use that weapon. The distribution for blue weak enemies doesn't work particularly good for Rapier. Probably another chapter that does. I'm not sure which, though. But there's definitely another chapter that probably has a better distribution on it if you want to take things early. Like, chapter 3 does quite a bit. Like, we could start taking out Fire Toad by, like, level 5, almost. Actually, probably even earlier than that. Probably even level 0, we could take Fire Toad with Shield and everything, with Rapier. If we really wanted to get access to it early. Because they give one of the better crafting material. I believe the Toad Eye is for 14% Mind's Matubin Potion. It was like 14 or 13, I can't remember. I think it was 14. I think it was the highest one. So be able to get to them early is actually really nice. Oh no, it was the Tooth, the Metal of Tooth. I guess it was the second to last tier then, that was the Toad Eye. Yeah, second to last was Toad Eye. Absolute last was the Metal of Tooth. Of course, we're nowhere there yet on alchemy, but we are planning ahead. I do want to try to align everything for like September or October for the alchemy 500 grind, or you know, milestone 10, whatever you want to call it. But we are maxing alchemy probably by the end of October. Hopefully around that time is when alchemy bounties are coming out. Because my current trajectory for alchemy is mid to late September or early October is when we start pushing it. Probably by late September. As everything should be aligned to have everything other than the botanist supplies for 500 forager. And all the holes will be offset by knowledge alpha merchant or however else we do it, I'm not sure yet. But we should have all supplies, not counting botanist supplies, by sometime in September. And hopefully that's when alchemy bounties are coming out. Or if they're not already out by before, then hopefully. The only problem with alchemy bounties is I don't really want to do turn-in bounties. Unless they're for a really high amount. Because the whole reason for doing alchemy is so that we actually get the potions to keep them. And if we have to do a turn-in, then we don't get to keep the object, which is unfortunate. So I'd be very tempted to basically never do a turn-in delivery. At this rate, I might not even need the other knowledge point. We're almost already there. See how much we're getting per rapier. Because yeah, with the new XP thing now, we can actually see exactly how much we need without doing the math. And currently I need 525,000 more XP. We're getting like almost 40,000 per rapier. We're getting what, 6 rapiers. So yeah, what, almost one more full inventory? 1.5? Could just throw the knowledge point too and get there, but we'll get it off the actual bars. Actually, both should pretty much align perfectly. Because we're still getting, what, like 20-something% knowledge here. We'll get another 12 there. So yeah, once we're processing the next set of rapiers, we'll easily get that level then. Because that's when our knowledge will tick over as well. And we'll just dump it into blacksmith there. So what's our blacksmith AFK? Maybe I should do that some. It's currently Shanarium Jewelry. We established earlier that we have done it before in the previous format. However, do I have any banked? I feel like the answer is no. I'll go check it once we run out of this inventory. I'm pretty sure I have no tier 7 Shanarium banked. It's one of the few that when got converted did not actually convert to the right level, I don't think. So I'm pretty sure I don't have any Shanarium banked for the AFK activity. And it's way too expensive to buy. I can only imagine what the negative rate is for this. It says negative 95%. I'm not sure what exactly that means, but I know it's very high negative. I don't understand in that context what negative 95% means. Because you're not losing 95% of the money you put in. You're losing a lot of the money you put in, but it's not 95% of what you put in. Like, if we spend 10 gold, we're not getting, you know, 500 silver back. We're getting more than 500 silver back. So I'm not sure what it means by negative 95% profit. Like, don't get me wrong, we're getting, like, mega negative. I'm not sure what it means by negative 95%. Because it's less negative than that. Or I assume it is. Unless Shanarium Jewelry is worth, like, absolute nothing. That'd be worse than, like, plastic jewelry. But I'm not sure what minus 95% means in that context. Unless you actually are losing that much, in which case that is insane. Because there's a non-zero chance that it actually is losing that much. Now, let's see if I have any banked. Gotta finish this rapier. Sell all that, double check the bank, see if there's anything in there. If not, well, rip. To manual trading. Only reason I mention it is because it's near a bounty board. Because obviously having that synergy is pretty nice to have. Like an AFK right next to the bounty board. Actually, this bone right AFK is actually amazing. Because it's right next to where the stonemason and smithing bounty boards likely are. Ironically, it's actually very far away from where the bone right bounty board likely would be located. Alright, I'm looking to see if I have tier 7. No, I don't. I have a bunch of tier 6 nuggets I don't need. I do have one. We did it for a one-time bonus earlier. When we were going through them for mining, but yeah, no. Yeah, that's why I thought I don't have any spares. Hey, I got all the forager stuff ready to go, though. From when we're doing it from forager. Actually, tier 5 I don't even need. Tier 6 I used. Though, oddly enough, we do have tier 7 Propaldium. What level is Propaldium? I actually have a lot of tier 7 Propaldium. Oh no, they swapped it. You don't get it till like level 33. We are far from that. At least all that level range we can kind of do though. Because we got one from forager and one from mining. So there's like whole level range. We could technically go in AFK near the end, kind of. Not fully, but you know, we could do some there. Interesting. Let's go finish this out. Grab the iron. But yeah, the game plan for off stream is I'm just going to keep checking the bounty board. Try to get the thing maxed by Monday for the minigame. So that we can see the full minigame with all of the mechanics and everything by then. And the only other stream we'll do for Brighter Shores probably before then is this Friday around noonish, Eastern Standard Time, which is about a few hours prior to now. We'll be going and doing the Forager grind. Probably doing Jade Monument. I'll do whatever the difference is in our Forager level to go get the Jade Monument. And then we'll go do the entirety of, well, Jade Monument. And then we should be good to go from there. That's going to be the game plan. And then we'll be back on Monday for Forager Gloves, plus doing the full minigame of the Filtration Station. As hopefully by then I should have all the unlocks for Filtration Station. Also, I will probably still be checking the bounties while doing the Forager grind on Friday as well. Because I do want to get that unlocked as quickly as we can. So we can kind of see what the full minigame looks like. Or quote-unquote minigame, whatever they're calling it. I think they technically called it like activity or whatever else. You know, it's kind of like a minigame, kind of not like a minigame. Whatever you want to call it. It's like just a different activity that you can do while doing the skill. I do like it a lot though. I hope they get a lot more like that, and I'm pretty sure they will. They already have a lot of stuff like that already on the list of things that they're doing. But it's a good sign for other similar mechanics that they're going to do in the future. This Filtration Station actually seems pretty cool. We're only at the lowest difficulty too. Once it has all those other mechanics that we saw in the smithing menu, as far as all these other mechanics that you end up unlocking over time. Seems like it has a lot going for it. I was sure there's extra rewards for doing it beyond just what is probably extra XP and gold. I'm sure there's like some kind of like completionist thing you could end up getting. Like if there was a reward for doing like 100 of them at max difficulty or 1,000 of them or whatever. Maybe not that many, but you know. Like some kind of extra reward in there. Alright, let's go throw down our 2 XP pots and just go finish these off. Drank that. 10%. Drank that. Put that into smithing. That's already going to be the level, but we'll still process the rest of these. There we go. We'll still finish out this inventory though. And at 1 more level, we get a lot better of an array as well. And in 4 more levels, once we can do the mace, we're pretty much at all iron. Which is great because we have a ton of this banked. So we'll be able to go and get pretty much always good tasks whenever we check the board. But unfortunately at a level range we're getting a little bit of a mix of bad tasks and good tasks. But by next Monday when we go and do a little bit more of it and, you know, mess with filtration and everything, we're going to be at a very good level range for the tasks that we're going to get. This is pretty much all iron, which is like the only resource we really have a lot banked of. At least for smithing. This is one of the few that actually converted correctly to the right tier. I gotta remember to use this knowledge point. Put that straight into smithing, of course. Up 1 more level, we're almost there. But of course, the main level that we wanted to get today was the 5555. That's the main one I wanted to end on. We got to 5,500 the other week. Now we're at the nice solid 5,555. And even though we haven't been playing as much because Slay the Spire 2 for those several days, we actually still did get back to top 50. And Krydic, we've been seeing a lot. He's starting to catch me up. He's going to pass us soon. We're going to go back down to 50. I feel like I see him every time I'm on. Like, anytime I'm on, he's there. Even off stream, he's still there. He's been going crazy lately. Did he ever do the Forager grind, or was he doing something else around that time? I could have sworn I saw him during it. Yeah, he was. We were both at the same level at one point. He's currently, like 34 above us right now. Because we kind of stopped for a little while to, you know, do a few other things. Like I did a little bit of leather worker. Obviously, we're doing a little bit of smithing. We're doing a little bit of detective, merchant, stuff like that. As well as combat AFK lately. Which if I do play off stream, probably the main one I'm going for next while doing the bounties. If I'm not like AFKing the bone right thing. Just because it's nearby. I'm trying to think, is there any other AFK I need to do that's viable that's nearby? What's my mining AFK right now? Hypothetically. Where's limestone? Oh no, that's all the way over there. That's not good. That's way too far from a bounty board. That'd be great for bone right bounties though, because bone right bounties would probably be over there and like some other location similar. But no, that's too far to try to get mining bounties. I think our current AFK to the other bone right spot is fine. Yeah, the mining AFK right now is not good for it. Shenarium would be good, because Shenarium's right over there. So you would just do it right over there and then just walk straight there to go to get your bounty. I think the best one is whatever that one stone is all the way in the top left. I want to say marble. Yeah, marble. I think marble's the closest one because marble's right there and the bounty board's like right there. I think that might be the closest AFK to the smithing bounty board. Oddly enough, it's for stonemason XP though, is the only problem with that. I think that's the closest one to a bounty board. But this one's not too bad though. It's not that big of a walk to go from here to there. Also, one thing I could do every single time as well, since this bone right AFK doesn't require any inventory, I could just grab an inventory of something I need. So for example, I need the green ore right now. And we could do this for either of the AFK if it was for stonemason if they were out, or the ore. We could basically grab a whole inventory since this doesn't require anything. We can grab an inventory of whatever we need for stonemason or smithing bounties that we don't have. Because they basically break even, so we could buy it and not feel bad about it. We can then, you know, use this AFK, and since it doesn't fill your inventory, you could then, once you're done AFKing, you know, go straight back to either stonemason bounties or when they exist, as well as smithing bounties, and, you know, just bring them in when you go, and you'll have one of the resources that you need, so you can kind of restock that way, and get like a free restock just while you're in the area already. But anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for now. As far as Brighter Shores stream, of course, we'll keep doing it when major content comes out. We'll probably do a little bit of a Forager stream this Friday as our last big Forager push before Forager Gloves. Otherwise, we're just mostly waiting for Forager Gloves to come out next Monday. Hopefully, it'll come out on time. If it does, next week's Monday stream, assuming we get the update on that day, is going to be both Forager Gloves, messing with that on Tier 9 Forager, or, you know, doing that for the final milestone. And we will go do the Filtration Station at the highest level we possibly can, as by then I should hopefully have it all the way unlocked to the highest possible difficulty. And then we'll have like 6 filtration... Oh, I did not want to click that. Wrong button. And hopefully by then we'll have like 6 Filtration Stations bounties all set up. So we can go just do, you know, all of them back to back in another board and just get like, you know, all the difficulties, kind of show all of them and go from there. And mess with that then. And that's pretty much the game plan. So Friday we'll go back on a little bit of Forager. Monday, assuming patch comes out, we'll have Forager Gloves plus max Filtration Station, hopefully. And yeah, then we'll go from there. And then that following week should hopefully just be every day just doing Forager until it's max. Getting all the resources along the way, using whatever the Forager buff is in order to expedite the process. Anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful week, wonderful weekend, and I will catch you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.